onto whoever they're playing against. It doesn't really matter who it is, and essentially starting this one off, they really have a lot of pressure. So you see a couple of shots coming through already, a demolition on the goal line as well from Critic. Not going to really make it smart just yet. Brilliance! Wow! Brilliance is going to get the first opening goal here. What a play here from the Toners.
Oh, Fergo was so mean with that dribble and that dish, and again, because of how threatening this player is, you can see the hesitation from the Kedron defense. They didn't know who was going to take the shot, where it was coming from, and then it's just the perfect dish back for Brilliance, who is not going to miss that. We've already seen how accurate this shooter is, and now we're starting to see the mistakes. Now we're starting to see the sloppy play. Kedron looks a little rattled. Brilliance with a chance, can't get to the ball.
Yeah, they're going to have to keep up really, really good play here, and Troby is doing a good job with this air dribble. Didn't really have anything, but he did bump Critic. I do love to see, like I said, the aggression, and once Kedron starts to get rolling, they can start to do some damage as well. Troby with a far shot. That one's not going to find... Oh, I was going to say, that one's... I thought it was saved off the backboard. Sorry, a little bit of lag on my end, though, Max.
That's all good, but yeah, I can understand why you thought the save was going to be made. Critic looked like they were in position, just didn't get the touch they wanted. A little bit too high up on the ball means they couldn't get it off that post. A bit unfortunate for Critic. That's always a frustrating one when you know you can make that save. However, it was a very tough ask.
Yeah, that was a very tough save, too. On top of all that, you're backwards, you're flying in the air backwards. But you make up for it on the offensive end. Fergo, the man who had a hat trick, who we failed to mention in game number 1, he had a hat trick and yeah, just absolutely took over in that game number 1. Scores the second goal here for the Toners. So really, really good showing. They didn't let that shot, or let that score, I should say, rattle them for too long.
You don't see the tag on screen, but we get to see it in game, and kind of a big deal since Fergo's tag, kind of accurate, but the response dunk, not quite going to hit its mark. Def V denied on the line. Brilliance making the save, and now can Kedron hold a sustained attack? And again, it just feels like too short of time on the orange side of the pitch, although Levi, playing patient, does flip the map one more time, and that's going to go in 2-all.
Yeah, this was all Levi from the point that he touched this ball. He knew what he wanted to do. He advanced it, and then it hit that weird angle off that sidewall. A tough read for anybody of any rank, essentially. And, you know, Levi made it look easy. He knew exactly where it was going to go, exactly where to place his car. There's the equalizer.
2-all, and again, just like game 1, we're going back for forth, blow for blow, and I think you said it earlier where you do see, like with the Toners, there are some gaps in the defense, and I think it's because of how far forward they play defensively, and it's not like incredibly far forward, but it's definitely just outside the boxes where they set up that line, and it does expose the backboard, as that's something Kedron has been looking to sort of utilize, even if it's just the backboard through the corner as well, like we saw at that last goal. I think it suits the Toners and maybe how they want to be aggressive, they want to be that offensive side, but I wonder how many other teams are going to find that exploit in the future before they start to maybe rectify their defensive position.
I mean, I did point that out last week, so if they do somehow change their game plan when they start to face the Toners, you're welcome. Everybody else in the league, and Levi, second goal, such a speedy shot. And that came off of the early challenge right there from Troby.
I love that second touch as well from Troby to stop the ball from going corner to corner right there, and that's what bought the time to allow the rest of Kedron to press forward. Now, once again, we see Kedron with the lead. Still a lot of time left in this game, and this has turned into a real high-scoring affair. I mean, both these teams, they just want to attack. Whoops, they don't want to play defense. Yeah. What's defense? That's boring. Just more goals, please.
Yeah, I mean, this is high school level. You know, there's what's defense exactly? they want the highlight reels. They want us to cast them. Okay, and we're gonna give them a show. Okay, as long as they keep doing some crazy plays, we're gonna definitely be here for that one, Max. But 2 minutes and 10 seconds left here in game number 2. You guys are just joining us. Thank you very much for being here. Kedron down. They lost the first game, so now they face themselves trying to play catch-up essentially against a very, very tough team like the Toners.
We see Critic with a chance, can't get it past Levi. Now Brilliance will have an opportunity, goes backboard, and Fergo had the read, but can't get the angle. Brilliance, it's a brilliant miss, and Levi has allowed some space to try and clear it, but it is a suffocating attack from the Toners. Ball post, no! Does not bounce in.
And this is a tough task right now for Kedron to try to get this clear. A good job right there from Def, but everybody was on zero boost basically right there for Kedron on the defensive end. So the Toners had a huge missed opportunity to try to tie this ball game right back up. The time is working against them here. 1 minute and 20 seconds left in game number 2.
We'll see. I mean, it should be plenty of time for this Toners attack, but credit to the defense until they double commit, in which case I'm going to take that credit back. See me after class. Brilliant chance to pass it across. Won't find Critic. It doesn't look like they're going to get punished for it for now. Defense able to recover, or are they? Fergo to... can't get it past Levi.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is like biting nails right now, or just sitting on the edge of your seat the whole entire time. But Def is going to relieve some of that stress that me and you are feeling, because they're going to go up by 2 now. This is a great play right here. Troby with another assist, and Def just takes full-on advantage of that great pass.
I love Troby's game sense. I've been paying more and more attention to it here in this second game as well. Like, they always know the right time to go for the bump, the right time to go for a pass or the ball. They always seem to know where the rest of the team is, positional-wise. Troby probably has been the highlight. Not the most mechanical member of the team, but definitely someone who I think is the highest game IQ being shown at the moment. As you can see right there, that was why I'm not saying they're the highest mechanical one, or was it a fake? I don't know. Point is, with the 2-goal lead, it looks like Kendron is going to hand the first game loss to the Toners in league play.
Listen here, okay, Max? Sometimes you're not the flashiest player, but you get the job done, okay? That's me, and that's Troby. That's all we have to say about that. And, you know, whatever gets the job done at the end of the day, as we see 20 seconds on the clock, and possession has been just in Kendron's favor for the whole second half of this game, and they've gotten some lucky breaks here, but at the same time, they've pretty much earned this win against the Toners. As the final seconds tick away, you're going to see pretty much, hopefully, I was going to say, hopefully Kendron can score another goal. Maybe the Toners can take some momentum with them, but what a save and what a shot as well. Kendron is indeed going to hang on and tie up the series 1-1.
And that is the first individual game loss in league play within 3 matches for the Toners. We knew they were going to get challenged a bit more today. Didn't really expect it to be this extreme, perhaps. Either way, Kendron, they took the game, and they looked like quite convincingly like the better team, at least on the offensive side of the ball. Those counterattacks, they're fast, they're accurate. Troby is causing that disruption on the back line, going for the bumps, going for the demos. The rest of the team's been able to follow through. Pressure on the Toners now. They need to find a way, I think, to spread out the ball a little bit more. They do look their best when they're able to go for these dribbles, go for these individual plays. Kendron was doing a good job pressing them during a lot of those setups, so we'll see how the Toners adapt after getting their first L.
I mean, on top of that, I think Kendron did a really good job here in this matchup, taking away the point of attack. A lot of these shooting lanes, a lot of the passing lanes, not giving them that space. I think you mentioned that, not giving them respectable space, basically, to kind of do whatever they want to with the ball. I really feel like that's where the Toners really thrive, is some of those solo pop-off plays. And, you know, Fergo with the flip resets, he's capable of doing some of those plays, but, you know, pretty much it's been Troby who has some of these great reads and some of the great passes, too. Think back to, you know, the 2 assists that he had in that game number 2. He really did set up a lot of those plays, but enough about that, Max. That's in the past. We have ourselves a tie series, and we have ourselves game number 3 as well.
Yeah, and it looks like Fergo with the first real chance is going to play backboard for Brilliant. Doesn't get it, but Critic was underneath. That's 3 players committing. Whoops, and when you don't score, well, it goes the other way. Troby was already on the other side of the field, and it's 1-0.
Yeah, he didn't steal this goal from Levi. He secured it. Look how wide it was going there, Max. I was a little bit nervous for that one. I would have did the same thing if I was Troby, in Troby's shoes.
I mean, so would any reasonable player, to be honest. That's a free goal for your stats, even if it is going in. So, you know what?
It's not about the free goal. It's about securing all about that the free first goal, okay?
I take when you are at my skill level, you take what you can get, even if it's from your own teammates.
Everybody can't be Wood 3 like you, Max, all right?
No, it's an exclusive division of 1. As we see Critic go back the other way and not get that goal.
But I was going to say that this could be the equalizer. I thought Fergo was actually going to hit that one a little bit stronger. He does pick up a demolition on the rotation back through, so he's going to erase Toby off of the field, but still a powerful shot. And this is what we were talking about, those point of attacks, those shooting lanes get closed down so quick. Either, whether it be the Toners, whether it be Kendron, whoever it may be, what a save from Levi. That's, you know, another missed opportunity right there for the Toners.
Whew, good squishy from Def V as well. That was, could have been dangerous. Instead, more pressure coming. Fergo's touch. No, denied by Def V again, protecting that top corner. And the patient defense from Kendron, it's so good to watch a team like able to rotate defensively, being able to make these timely saves. And for a team that was struggling on defense so much in the first game, to see them bounce back and actually hold down the fort a bit more, fantastic improvement from the Kendron side. I thought Toners were going to be the one warming up. Whoops, that's not been the case.
That was a disgusting flip reset right there from Trophy. He was upside down and still, usually, especially me, I was talking about this the other day with one of my friends. Good shot, good save though. Virgo gonna be denied. Basically, you're upside down. You're so used to just hit that back flip 9 times out of 10. That one you have to actually put your stick forward and hit a front flip instead. And it's so difficult to do. Speaking of difficult to do, look at Virgo with the redirect and a slot that one with a little bit of help from that top crossbar.
And this is why Virgo is so dangerous in this event right there. What a redirect, top bar down and in. I can't be too critical of Kedron for not making that save. Not many players can. And once again, you know, opening goal is equalized before the halfway point. These teams like to go blow for blow. Wow. Speaking of which, Levi responds in kind.
And I talk about it time and time again, Max. I'm going to bring it up until the day I die, or somebody takes this microphone away from me. Kickoff goals and just kickoffs in general are just so crucial in Rocket League, and this is exactly why. The second kickoff goal for Kedron, and this one's a biggie too, because they just took the lead right back and took all that momentum away from the Toners.
Do you see Trophy? Now he'll push it through. You know, maybe Rocket League can benefit, you know, stealing a little bit of from a Mega Strikers and have it. You have to get rid of something to stop the kickoff goal from happening to open up the goal. I don't know. Hate kickoff goals. Hate them. Not a fan. Triple commit, by the way, coming from the Toners, and they're not going to get punished. In fact, we see a pause.
Yeah, I was going to say, Fergal called for a pause about 15, 20 seconds ago. I'm not too sure what the problem is. Might have had a controller disconnect, whatever it may be. We should basically reset with some sort of kickoff at about 2:30, whatever it may be. But still, it gives us time to kind of break down what's going on. It's about the midway point in this matchup here in Game 3, and such a good turning point too, like you said. Kedron is on the roll. They're taking a lot of momentum away from the Toners, and not only that, they're actually doing it, Max, like you said. The first game being lost by the Toners in Lord knows how long.
Exactly. Like, it is a bit of a turnaround right now, and it's exciting to see at this stage. It does look as if we are going to get, as you said, back to 2:30. We're going to be having a kickoff once more. The goal does still stand, so it still is going to be a Kedron lead. But yeah, I think the adaptation that we've seen on the defense and in the midfield from Kedron has been the difference. We saw how dangerous their quick attacks can be, those counters, where they've been finding most of their goals. But if you take a look at the shot count already in this game, 2 from Kedron, 2 goals. 7 from the Toners, 1 goal. It just shows how well Kedron has been absorbing the pressure and waiting for their moments to clap back.
Yeah, there's been a ton of missed opportunities for the Toners. And on top of that, I mean, Kedron just playing some really, really good defense as well. So, I mean, paired with those two, like I said, and some really good Rocket League play from Kedron, that's where we are right now with Kedron with the lead. And on top of that, you know, tying up the series as well. So Kedron has a lot of work left. And on top of that, there's a lot of time left on the clock for the Toners to kind of tie everything back up.
Ooh, and we almost saw a shot opportunity from Critic right there. Brilliance is going to keep the pressure. Virgo wanted to rotate through midfield, but got cut off by Critic. And again, we've seen these awkward moments with the Toners when they're behind. They start to triple commit. They get a little panicky looking for that goal, and it could expose them for more shots against them. Troby doesn't get the pass back to Def. Levi slows it down, but it is still opening for Virgo. Shots on target, and in it goes.
Yeah, that's such a difficult shot right there. 6 shots, by the way, for Virgo. That's going to be his second goal, putting the team on his back right here. And that's such a difficult shot because of the fact that you're shooting that one in such an awkward angle. But on top of that, Max, it's an open net. Those are not a gimme. You know, you have defense rotating back through. You have everybody yelling at you, all the eggs in the stands just going crazy, like, shoot the ball! And then you just end up missing, as we see this shot right here being saved away by Def.
Double commit from Kedron. Works out in their favor. Troby able to pull back. Levi's setup, well, is fine enough, but no one really immediately pushed forward right now. It was a midfield sort of line of scrimmage draw. Now Troby has a chance. Doesn't have the speed to outpace Virgo, but Levi can throw it right back down into that box. Virgo swings and misses. Here comes Def. Off the backboard. It's exposed once more, but no follow-up shot.
Yeah, unfortunate. Follow-up touches would have been so huge, so crucial in that situation. Now you find the Toners backing Kedron into their corner, and this is where it starts to get dangerous. The Toners do such a good job at suffocating the defense, but not only that, they usually 9 times out of 10 walk away with a goal here just because of that suffocation.
We'll see what they're able to find as we see the deep shot from Levi get saved by Virgo, who can't stay with it. Levi instead will play it through the corner. Defy's there though, and not going to find that shot this time. Virgo has to rotate back for the defense now. With 30 seconds remaining, only a handful of chances left in regulation. Critic is going to throw it down. Levi tries to cross up the field. Demo in the middle of the pitch means a clear could be dangerous, yet Fergo does the right thing and slows it down in the corner.
Yeah, that's exactly what you have to do. A lot of times the players just rush in that situation because they're panicked, but slowing it down, taking a different look at it. Hopefully the comms right there for the teammate or the team of Kendron is in full effect. But final seconds ticking away here in game number 3. Def B, good shot right there. Going to be saved away towards midfield. Def once again going to have the follow-up touch. We do see this one going to overtime though, Max.
Yeah, it was a conscious decision by Kedron at the end there to let it drop. Probably a smart move, but golden goal, it's a miss from Fergo! And all of a sudden, match point to Kedron.
Do I say it? Do I say it again, Max? Could I point it out? Kickoff goals! Kickoff goals!
Was that a kickoff goal or was that... Okay, yes, it was a kickoff goal, but it was also an unforced error. I mean, that only happens because Fergo whiffed.
No. This is a kickoff goal. A classic kickoff goal. Time and time again, I talk about it. I'm going to bring it up and tell you. So somebody takes this microphone away from me, I'm bringing it up. Rocket League kickoff goals. I just find myself casting them over and over and over and over again. And this is the third one now for Kendron. And like you said, the most important one too, because now the Toners find themselves in a predicament, Max. They find themselves, down a couple of games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we will see what happens as we're going to have a little bit of a longer break before getting into our next match. A bit of a lobby reset, but I mean, you are right, and I will never deny the importance of kickoff goals just because it exists doesn't mean I don't hate it, but 2 out of 3 of Kendron goals that last game came from the kickoffs. Each of them sort of responses, or, well, I guess one was the overtime, the other one the response to the equalizing goal before, but yeah, if you want to stay competitive in these games, you can't allow those kickoff goals against you, and we're in a weird position right now. The Toners 1 game away from dropping their first series since the start of this high school league, and keep this in mind, if they lose this series, that means every single team within this league, within this entire scope, has lost a series at some point or time, which means no clear favorite, right? That means literally anyone can win.
No clear favorite, but it's not even about the kickoff goals themselves, Max. It's about just the setup from the kickoff, in my personal opinion. It's literally about what happens afterwards. It sets up the defense, sets up the offense, and sometimes you get lucky enough to capitalize and find yourself with a goal. I'm not trying to say Kendron was lucky by any means, because they did it twice, 3 times at this point, but my point is that there's just so much that gets set up from a kickoff, and there's so many different strategies involved with kickoffs as well. Back left, back right, Spanish kickoffs, whatever it may be, you find yourself with some sort of strategy going into it. You can speed flip, maybe go for the 50-50 and have that second person cheat up type situation. So there's just so much that a lot of people fail to realize when it comes to kickoffs. It's almost like the demolition strategy that's kind of taking over Rocket League. It goes back to just like, pretty basic Rocket League kickoff strategy. What are you going to do? How are you going to plan for it?
I mean, I agree, and if you want to, get even more detailed, there's always Johnny Boy streams. He also likes to harp on and on about kickoffs for good reason. I mean, I've seen so many good teams throw away leads because of, poor kickoffs or because of poor situations. So hopefully we will get back into the lobby soon. We're just currently testing the new one, so we should be about a minute or 2 away, assuming that everything is all good to go with this lobby. And unfortunately, it seems like there might still be issues, so this tech timeout is going to continue for a little while longer yet.
Yeah, I think it's Fergo. Fergo's having some problems with his connection, whatever it may be. I think he was having some problems earlier on as well. That's why we had that pause too. And whatever it is, I think Fergo's actually restarting his PC or whatever he's playing on. I'm assuming it's a PC because Predator supplies great PCs, Max.
Switch gaming. I want to see it.
Oh, okay. I actually do know a really good player on Switch. I'm not even gonna lie to you, and he uses like the nunchucks, dude.
Let's go. I think we talked about this 2 weeks ago, actually. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm all for whatever you use to get out there and put in those good results. I'd probably lose to players on Switch. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I'd probably drop.
You probably have lost to players on Switch.
Probably. As we still continue. Hopefully, won't take too much longer for Fergo to sort of restart the game and get themselves back in it. In which case, we will continue along with this series. And I think it's pretty important for the Toners that they do have Fergo playing at, full capacity again. Has been kind of the star player for this lineup in the past. And we'll see if they piece it together. They have rejoined the lobby now. Time for that all-important test. I'm seeing Well, I did see 0 ping, and I was super excited, but then I realized, wait, that's impossible.
He's like, I'm just going to take my whole PC over to the server itself, and I'm just going to plug directly into it. So, haha, GG's, good luck. But no, I mean, I do agree with you, though. Fergo is definitely one of these huge clutch players here on the Toner squad. I know game 1, he had, like I said, that hat trick. Game 2, I think he walked away with at least a couple of goals. Actually, looking back at my notes, there's only 1 goal. But at the same time, he has been that person that has been, you know, kind of circle where is he at on the field, because he has so much in his arsenal that he can work with. Flip resets, air dribbles, and just setting up the play in general, that you have to account for him every single time on the pitch. So whatever it may be, Fergo, I hope that your connection gets better. But is it going to be enough to push past Kendron now? That's the question.
We'll see. I mean, I'm nervous. I'm nervous looking at the ping at the lobby right now. I think the issues might extend, unfortunately, past these servers. So we'll see if, you know, the tech gods will be, you know, kind to Fergo going into game 4. If you're Kedron, though, look, it's like, you know, in the boxing match, if your opponent might be a little cut up, you got to keep aiming for it, and we'll see what Kendron can do against an injured side of the Toners as we gear up and get ready to go. Hopefully, it will be good, so we'll see what happens. I mean, I love our referee is just full on saying, hey, you know, make sure the people at that house with you aren't downloading anything on Steam at the moment, aren't, you know, stealing all that bandwidth. You need it. It's time for game 4.
And I'm just over here trolling him too. He's just like the only person that's not readied up either. So I'm just like, Bat, would you just ready up? Like, just ready up already so we get this game going. We want to see who's going to win. I know I'm in the... I want to see at least. I don't know, Max. I think you're rooting for like a game 5 at this point in time, but whatever. We're not going to go there just yet.
I mean, game 5s are always fun. Like, you want game 5s. Game 5s are what should be encouraged, so let's see.
No, Max, I want to see the upset. I'm always cheering for the underdog, and the underdog is Kendron.
But you also said you are against Queensland team, so which is it? Defi with the kickoff goal.
I love it. I love it.
You know
Keep them coming.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out the hierarchy right now for you of importance. Like, the team that scores the most kickoff goals, they're on top. Then the underdog. Then anyone not Queensland. Is that yes. How the hierarchy goes?
Yes. It's exactly how it goes in my book. Kickoff goals, so I can talk about kickoffs. Because I love kickoffs. Kickoffs.
Oh, man. Casting ones with you where, like, every goal is a kickoff goal would be a trip.
Who plays ones, Max? Are you trying to get better at this game or something? No, threes is only game mode you play. That's why you're stuck in wood 3, dude.
Fair. All right. Either way, chance for the Toners to bring it back. No, seriously, play ones, people. If you want to get better at mechanics, that is the way to do it. Fergo with a chance. There you go. Don't need high ping for that. That's going to be a tie ball game 1 apiece.
Yeah, the Fergo is sitting currently on green, so I think we're all good now at this point in time, and he's showing off, like I said before, just the sheer amount of threat that he has on the field. Like I said, you have to know where he is. He's dangerous, he's deadly, and that's exactly why we have ourselves back to a tie ball game.
And it could be over because, not quite straight enough. Critic almost getting the kickoff goal, but defense able to fall back and save. Now Troby. It's just going to steal the boost before looking for the demo. Wanted to get underneath, but instead it's going to be Levi who presses forward. Ball in no man's land. Fergo gets there first. Pressure coming from the orange side. Troby's got to be careful here. Critic with the dunk makes it a 2-1 game.
Yeah, I love the musty flick advancements. Just showing off the mechanics once again. Troby, though, dangerous. It's always so dangerous when you bring it in front of the blue box and cross, because then that ball becomes pretty much a shield and you can't see who's there in front of you. And Critic was right there, perfectly timed, took that ball away. Now you see the Toners up by 1.
That was such a tough position to be in too, because like had they tried to go more straight, Fergo was also just in front of the midfield line, kind of waiting for that midfield clear. There was nowhere safe with that one, so I do respect the choice to try and win out the 50. Didn't win it that time because Critic beat him out, and that was a weird double commit, Levi. Not sure what your plan was on that one, but Defi did clear it to the other end.
I don't want to see those double commits come right back out. You see Defi once again with a good shot towards the back of the net, backs up that defense of the Toners, but quickly taken away. Here comes Fergo with the fake, going low. Oh, Troby with the perfect rotation, cleans that one up the back wall. What a ridiculous save.
And again, Troby's game sense coming through in the clutch time and time again for Kedron. That fake should have scored. Game still within 1, so Kedron's still with that chance. However, we'll see what
That's not
Troby
good.
can do. Shot! That's going
That's
in!
not
Tie
good.
ball game.
As soon as I saw Fergo pop this one up towards mid, and then nobody from his team came to have that second touch, I just knew that someone from Kendron was going to score, and that someone was indeed Troby. Now we have ourselves a couple of mistakes from Kendron. They're not playing their best Rocket League right now, and Kendron, I'm sorry, Toners, and Kendron is taking full on advantage.
Open
of that.
net. No, it's saved!
save.
Critic rotates back. How did he get there? That looked like such a gimme. Yes, it was a tough angle. It's found it. Then Critic misses the ball. Fergo misses the ball. What's happening? Whoops.
I don't know. This is OCE's finest right here. And I'm just like kind of baffled. A couple of whiffs out here, and you know, this isn't the peak play that we were talking about and hyped everybody up for. It's basically been just a good matchup back and forth the whole entire time, and now we're starting to see a little bit of panic.
Yeah, open net misses, seeing whiffs left, right, and center, and definitely the nerves coming into play. Brilliant's normally so good at those touches, lets another one go by, and here comes Defi, not able to find it. And it has to be the pressure again. The Toners have yet to lose a series. They're on the precipice of doing just that. Fergo's dribble, not going to be enough to get in.
Troby had no boost on the rotation back, and he just literally read that one like a book, using his flips, and just basically if they put it anywhere other than where Troby was, they score a goal there, and just another missed opportunity for the Toners.
And we're seeing more and more of them as this continues. 1:44 to go. Toners, their play has been looking sloppy. However, it's been just enough for Kedron not to punish yet. And whenever we see this orange side on the attack, it could be the go-ahead goal. Brilliance plays patient. Critic slow down Levi, and almost wonder if you let that one go, had Brilliance had a chance for the dunk. Either way, shot from Critic. Troby makes the save, pushes it to the corner where Brilliance is there. Pass back. Critic doesn't want it, starts to rotate back.
Yeah, I was going to say, I almost wanted to see Brilliance just be a little bit more aggressive in that situation, because he had the go-ahead goal. In my personal opinion, he would have beat the defense of Kendron in that situation, but he elected to go back, not really, like I said, buying into his offense just yet.
No way.
This is a
way.
I can't believe that either, Max. That's just a perfectly placed shot right there from Troby. Nobody home for the Toners.
I'm going to keep beating this drum until I prove him wrong. Troby's game sense, the high IQ player, fires the cross-pitch shot, in it goes. And to kind of go back briefly to your point about Brilliance, I agree with you 9 times out of 10, but in this 4th game, Brilliance has looked the most rattled on the Toner side. There's been a lot of unforced errors, and I think it's becoming a confidence issue, and that's why we aren't seeing that more aggressive play. And now with 45 seconds left, the Toners, they're going to need to dig deep to find this equalizer, especially with the ball back off their own backboard.
Time is definitely working against the Toners here in this situation. 35 seconds left. Troby, he can smell it, he can feel it as well. He's definitely having himself a ball game. 2 goals, 5 saves as well. Troby with another shot, trying to go for that hat trick, and he had the flip reset as well, but couldn't advance that one past it. Over into the corner now, Fergo. You can start to see the deflation of the Toners just in general. Brilliance not trying to give up, though. Oh, Troby with a good takeaway off the back wall. There goes Critic. Fergo's erased off the pitch. Can they get themselves the equalizer? Levi off the corner. This is the last-ditch effort. There it goes. It hits the ground. And Kendron going to hand the Toners their first loss in how long, Max? I'm sorry.
I'd say their first one ever. First loss since the start of this event, and it comes courtesy of Kedron. I want to call it an upset, but when you look at how these two teams played, Kedron, they were the more composed team. They were the higher IQ team when it came through to it. And here's the thing, though, and this is what I kind of love about situations like this sometimes. Yes, that's going to be a tough loss for the Toners to eat, but they did have the tech issues, and that's going to leave that question mark. It's like in the WWE, you know, when a new champ is crowned under maybe questionable circumstances. I don't know how that rematch is going to look, because I don't think we saw the Toners at their best.
I mean, I agree with you. They weren't at their best, but at the same time, I think Kendron definitely earned that. Like I said before, they played way better Rocket League than that game number 1. Even though that game number 1 was so close, I think it was pretty much decided by 1 goal at that point in time. And think back all the way, like where Kendron was making those mistakes, and I said they had to play pretty much damn near perfect Rocket League in order to push past the Toners. Then basically, yeah, that's exactly what they did. They played perfect Rocket League, had a bunch of saves, and then on top of that, they just took over on the offensive end.
Well, that is going to be it. The Toners do fall, but there still is another undefeated team looming about in terms of league play, and that is Linwood. They're going to be up next against Ripley, so gotta see how things kind of handle along. I'm stealing the host duties from you right now. Whoops, I'm sorry, because we're throwing
it's okay,
to a break.
Do it.
I just did.
Shadows fall over my heart. I black out the moon. I wait for you to come around. You got me dancing in the dark. I close my eyes, but I won't sleep tonight. Baby, you should come with me. I'll take you to the dark side. Me and you and me, do bad things in the nighttime. Come with me, and we can kill the lights, hit the lights, let it black out, hit the lights, let it black out, oh. Blackbird, black moon, black sky, black light, black everything, black heart, black keys, black diamonds, black out, black everything, black everything, all black, everything, all black, everything, all black, everything, black. Nocturnal state of mind, children of the night, but it's the
Hello everybody and welcome back to the League Play week number 2 here in the AEL High School Cup, and this is the Mayhem Tournament, and I am Whoopsyou. This is my good friend Max Formal. If you guys stuck with us through that break, if not, if you guys are just joining us, you guys missed a heck of a matchup. Kendron taking down the big dogs Toners in a 3-1 fashion. But now we have ourselves a new matchup here, Max, and it's one of our favorite teams, I would say. You know, it's the Ripley Raptors versus the top dog Linwood.
Yeah, as apparently I've upset Linwood before we've even started. I don't even know how. It's
You upset them? How'd you do that?
I'm just so good at annoying people, apparently. But yeah, no, this is going to be a fun one. Linwood undefeated after round 1. A little bit of a surprise, in my opinion. We'll see how they keep going right here. Ripley on the other side, arguably one of the strongest teams to watch out for. I mean, homeboy has been a force to be reckoned with when we see them out on the pitch. Invor, obviously on that grind. They've been kind of popping off in the Twitch chat talking about who they've been playing with, and that team looks very good at a high school level. not the team we're seeing right here, but nonetheless, it's good to see them practicing, good to see them scrimming and, you know, competing in other events. So this Ripley side, they're battle-tested, they're ready to go. Linwood undefeated. This is going to be a fun matchup.
Yeah, I like Ripley Raptors. I mean, Linwood, don't get me wrong, they're obviously probably the the favorites here in this matchup. But you know, Ripley Raptors, they're just on the cusp, in my personal opinion, of just winning. A good game against a couple of good teams. They've been struggling just a tad bit, in my personal opinion. They've just been missing a lot of their shots, and I really told them, I think last week, if they go to some of these training packs and start to put a lot of these shots on target, then I really feel like they can compete with somebody like the Toners and somebody like Linwood in this example. So hopefully, like you said beforehand, you said Invor has been in the chat talking up who he's been playing with and stuff like that. So hopefully they had improved since last week is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I kind of expect him to as well, and I would actually disagree on that initial assessment. I actually still think Ripley is probably going to be the favorites in this matchup, despite Linwood being undefeated. Just when you kind of look at who they've played against, and again, maybe this comes from exposure, but I've seen Ripley at their best, and I know how strong they can be, so I actually do lean towards them to win this series. 3-1 would be my prediction, but at that same token, I mean, that's not to say that Linwood are slouches by any stretch of the imagination. This is still a super strong lineup, so I think it's going to be really fun back and forth between these two sides. But I'd still give the edge to Ripley just because of the experience, just because I know how hard they've been grinding and training to an extent. So it's like, yeah, I kind of feel like Ripley should be the stronger team, but we'll see. I'm also seeing high pings again, and that gets me nervous.
Listen, I'm going to disagree with you once again, okay? I'm going to disagree with you. Linwood is definitely the team right now. They're the top team. They took on Kendron last week, and I believe, if my memory serves me right, they won that matchup. And, you know, we just saw how good Kendron was. It was a close game between them, a couple of overtimes as well. And I think even so, Troby actually was popping off in that game too, so I mean that just goes to show you how good Linwood had to play to beat Kendron. So like I said before, I love Ripley. I want to see them succeed. I really do believe that they're one of those teams that are going to be just, you know, the top team here, you know, in league play. But I think Linwood is going to win this matchup.
We'll see. I like it. I mean, yeah, you want this back and forth. I love this top division though. Like, I really do love Division 1 because, especially after we saw, you know, that last series, I feel like any team can take it all right now. Kendron's win was huge. I would say Linwood's win last week over Kendron. Now you put that in perspective, that was huge as well. Ripley, in my eyes, is still a top team and one to be like competitive against. Ripley's one loss did come to the Toners and was a clean sweep against them. We'll see how this one does play out, though. We are live on the pitch right now, and normally the first goal I'd say is super important, but after that last series, I'm feeling a lot less so.
I mean, that last series was just, you know, peak Rocket League right there. That was a good series to start off the stream with, but at the same time, I really do feel like, especially in this situation with the Raptors, the way that they play, they really need to score first, in my personal opinion. If not, then they start to kind of get down on themselves, and then Linwood's just going to kind of take over in that point in time. So hopefully that's not the case. Like I said, I want to see the Raptors succeed, but at the same time, I really feel like Linwood is just going to, you know, take this one away from the Raptors.
We do see some pressure through that corner. Invor has that chance. Shot up, Matthew. Nice goal line defense. Actually puts it in a really safe spot. That was a really great touch from a stagnant position out of Matthew. Would want to see more of that. Now a chance to clear it out. Actually, it's a bit of a double commit coming from the Linwood side, which means no quick backup allows Invor to bring it back the other way. A chance to center it. Homeboy and the Hill Devils are there, neither of which could find the shot.
Yeah, that was a good play right there from Homeboy. Jesus, he had a good size up, and on top of that, I like what I've seen on Invor as well. He did take his time. He was very, very patient with one of these shots.
That's
now he's on the backboard as well. I was going to say the follow-up touch had to be through for somebody over on the Linwood side, and that somebody was Matthew.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Invor's touch needed to be a little bit deeper into the corner. Wasn't quite there. Pretty good read for Matthew, who was able to press forward uncontested. 1-0 lead. Nice goal from Linwood. I like their positioning, and even Sweet, I should say. No, it is Sweat. They were, I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. They were trying to come through and find the bump. The Hill Devils scores, though, right off after that kickoff.
Yeah, to say, speaking of sweats, look at V-Hill Devils over here. Just look at them with the beautiful read, just beating the defense, not the rotation that you want to have right there if you are Linwood. But nonetheless, still the equalizer right there for the Raptors on a very, very impressive play.
Yeah, and once again, we're tied. Another back-and-forth series, and again, I'm expecting these ones to be close, but not with midfield whiffs like that. Punish from Xavier goes wide. Oh. That said, Sweat will be able to put it through, and it's going to be a 2-1 lead for Linwood.
Yeah, it's a good play right here from Xavier, putting that pressure onto the back wall. Homeboy Jesus had to play the guessing game, but more importantly, Sweat just reading that pass right there from Xavier. I'm not sure if it was intentional or not. We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was. Linwood up 2-1.
You always got to go with, did they score? It's intentional. Did they miss? It was unintentional. Like, that's the golden rule, right? Like, that's what you abide by until told otherwise. Just, it's all based on success and nothing else.
Yeah, I've actually had that happen to me before where I was like, oh, yeah, that was calculated. And I go into, like, the VC of, like, the team chat, and they're like, no, we totally missed. Like, it was just one of those situations. But that was a good shot right there from Invor. I want to say this. I really have seen some improvement right there from Invor.
Yeah, no, we have. Again, Invor's a strong player. I think it's just had a couple off showings so far, like with the couple times they've been on stream, but we'll see how they bring it back. That touch from the Hill Devils was a little bit awkward and off, and now Invor doesn't clear it across the middle of the field. Instead, it's going to be Sweat through the corner, setting up Xavier, who doesn't want the challenge. Instead, they'll go ahead and play a bit deeper. Matthew wanted the dunk, won't find it on Homeboy.
I want to think back to that touch that you said from V-Hill Devils. I want to say that it was a good touch, in my personal opinion, but Homeboy Jesus, the closest person there, just did not respond adequately to that touch from V-Hill Devils. So, I mean, yeah, a little bit of a missed touch right there from V-Hill Devils, but still, it could have been covered up by Homeboy Jesus. But nonetheless, Matthew, the great air dribble, putting that pressure right back onto the Raptors side.
We'll see how they go. Matthew's going to stick with this play, gets the second touch, almost beat all three defenders. The Devils on the goal line, able to make the save. Now trying to bring it back the other way, as Xavier will be waiting just outside the corner. Now down, pounce, and now they'll score. 3-1 lead for Linwood.
Yeah, good shot right here from Xavier, being at the right place at the right time. And like I said, that awkward corner, Sweat just doing a good job of putting some sort of pressure into that corner. It bounces awkwardly, and then somehow, some way, Sweat is just there to receive it. So, I mean, a good play right there from Linwood, but at the same time, I mean, it was just such a tough ask on defense right there for the Raptors.
Matthew and Xavier getting in each other's way. It's now a 3v1. Sweat, can you come up big? Not this time, and the Hill Devil makes it a 3-2 game.
Yeah, the Hill Devil, good shot. Invor once again with the advancement upfield and taking his time, being very, very patient. That's what you have to do in these situations. The Hill Devil, I'm sorry, just a perfectly placed shot right there to the close post.
Yeah, and again, that was all set up because of that awkward double commit. Matthew and Xavier colliding in midair on the attack. And good job from Ripley to punish, but there's still a goal down, and it could be two if they're not able to clear the map this time. Invor, though, does find that clearing touch. Is going to have to pressure the corner. Got underneath Matthew, and now centered ball. Where's the third member? Homeboy too far back, but also too far forward. It's nearly countered back against them.
Just like Little Red Riding, or what's her name? Goldilocks.
Yeah.
Too hot, too cold, just too far, too forward in that situation. As you approach the 60-second mark now, Sweat with the advancement. Nice pass right there from Matthew towards that midfield line, but just not a good touch, though. The follow-up touch from Linwood just did not find its mark.
It's amazing how contagious the Whipples are in high school leagues. Just something about them. When one person starts missing, everyone does. It's just like, you know, in school itself, when one kid gets a cold, now the entire class is out. It happens the same way on the Rocket League pitch.
I don't know where you're going with that one, Max. I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's the Whipples.
So.
One person misses and like the other person tries to read, misses as well. It's all contagious.
I mean, I see what you're trying to say, but at the same time, I'm just like, huh? It's like, wait, what? The Whipples and someone's getting sick now in class, and now he has to sneeze? I don't know. 15 seconds left, though, here in game one. 3-2 in favor of Linwood so far, and Matthew just wants to stall this clock out with a good far clear as well. He had complete control of that ball, but here comes an opportunity now for the Raptors to kind of tie this one right back up. All zeros on the clock. Xavier in the air. What's he going to do? Guessing game at that point in time, and nobody going to be there to hit that one up at the midfield line. Linwood hangs on and wins this game number one in a 3-2 fashion.
Yeah, the best shot at the end came with 4 seconds left. Homeboy had a chance to redirect it. Couldn't quite make contact with the ball. Would have been a very difficult shot, but After game number 1, Linwood do look like the more composed team. That is for certain. Their attacks have been more long-standing and more dangerous. And Ripley, they've had a few moments on those counterattacking games. Invor 5 shots on target, but overall, yeah, it was Linwood's game to lose. They were the stronger side, and they walked away with the game 1 win.
I mean, are you trying to say that I'm right, Max?
Yes.
Is that what you're trying to say? Is that a long way of saying that I'm right?
Actually,
in this
yes. But just,
no, but
okay,
I mean,
going to the postgame and saying, yes, Whoops was right, like, that's not entertaining. Well, actually, it's entertaining for you. But
I mean, I just like to hear it. That's all. I like to hear it. That's all it comes down to. I mean, I love to predict games and stuff like that. I'm a big firm believer in betting channel points and things like that. But I just because I love to break down the game analytically and stuff, you know. So sitting here watching Linwood and just what I've seen so far from them, from these couple of weeks from the league play, and just what I've seen from the Raptors as well. I mean, it just did not add up in the Raptors' favor, in my personal opinion. Not to say that they can't do it. I'm trying to say I want them to win. I really, really believe the Raptors are such a good, solid team, but Linwood has just been so dominant lately.
Well, you know what? I just want you to keep talking about how great Linwood is and how great they're going to be for when the inevitable reverse sweep happens. But as it stands right now, no, you were totally right, though, Whoops. Absolutely 100% correct. Look, kickoff goals, they're your favorite. Yay!
No, you were just hitting all the marks on my checklist now, Max, and this is making me a very happy camper.
Oh, that was... Yeah, you know, I mean, it wasn't the immediate kickoff goal. It was the quick reaction to it, but... Either way, Linwood gets the first point on the board, 1-0 lead.
Love it. Just I'm right. Kickoff goals I mean, it's just whatever. I mean, only thing that can like really just mess this up is that the underdog wins. But then I win again, Max. So I love when the underdog wins. So it's like, do I really lose in this situation?
Well, you have to go by the order, right? The pyramid that we came up before, and it was kickoff goals on top. So yes, the kickoff goal team losing.
Well, I mean, it's kickoff goals, yes, and then rooting against Max in anything that he does. What a good save right there from Matthew, though.
The yummy cheese man approach. I see. Xavier's going to clear it back down the other way. Invor will save the ball out of the box.
Hopping into game number 2, though. This is, I mean, we were talking about how crucial that first goal was going to be. And, you know, essentially for the Raptors, I really wanted to see them score that first goal because they play so much better when they're up ahead, especially that, I'm going to say it again, the first goal, that when they get that one, they start to approach the game so much more differently. But like we said beforehand, no lead is safe in this situation, especially from that last series that we watched. And thinking back to game number 1, no lead is safe in this situation.
Well, it's a lot safer now, though, after that shot and goal from Matthew. 2-0 in favor of Linwood.
Sorry, I had to put the caster curse onto him. So I'm just trying to pretty much just be right in the caster curse the Raptors in this point in time. But no, I mean, it's just unfortunate right there on the rotation back through. And then on top of that, you had Xavier there who was pretty much just hunting for some sort of bump on the way back through onto the goal line as well. So that was just a hard-earned goal right there in favor of Linwood.
And after that goal, there's going to be a chance now for Linwood to, well, pull even further ahead, I suppose. 2-0 in this game. They want to make it 2-0 in this series. Homeboy Jesus, chance to slow it down, gets the second touch, and we're back within 1.
I love this play right here from the Raptors. Look at Invor. You get to see the good pass right there and the patience from Homeboy Jesus, but what you don't see is V-Hill Devils with the bump put the initial pressure onto Sweat on the goal line, which made him make a mistake right there. That set up the whole entire play right there for the Raptors.
Yeah, it was a good play, and it was a good goal, and now as we kick off for this next point, Matthew return the favor a bit. Xavier underneath. Actually doesn't get that read, so Homeboy's going to be able to center it. Hill Devils was too far back, and yeah, all of Ripley abandoned the play a little bit too quickly, in my opinion, but it wasn't like Linwood was in any hurry to kind of put the pressure back on the other side. Very spread out pitch until Ripley closes the door a bit more. They want to shorten the field. Finally, they're not able to keep the attacking pressure on.
I want to point out that all 3 members getting involved in game number 1 for Linwood all walked away with 1 goal in that game number 1. And Ripley, the only person to score a goal, the 2 goals that were scored by them was V-Hill Devils. So, I mean, he has been activated in the situation. Homeboy Jesus has been activated, I should say. So that's a good start right there for the Raptors to kind of get things going on the offensive end.
As we do see that deep clear, Invor will continue to try to pressure it up. Gets the second touch. That angle was sick.
See, now I cast a curse Linwood for you guys. I gave some praise to the Raptors, and this is exactly why I don't do that, but it was such a good shot. I see a little bit of a stutter on my end off of Matthews, the front of Hispanic right there. I'm not too sure if you guys seen that on your end.
No, that's a graphical glitch, I think. Not too sure.
I mean, that's just because I'm in the States, okay? That's
Yeah,
all
probably.
it comes down to.
Probably.
I swear I heard the hit too. That's why I thought it was going to be a save, but unfortunate right there for Matthew.
Well, that one he hit, but unfortunately he didn't hit into the net. The double touch was a little bit too high. And high ball game right now. Chance for Ripley to bounce themselves back in this one. Matthew still looking to play setup, though, and we'll see where they come from as Sweat will be the next one to try to cross up the defense. Both defenders starting to rotate. Inbor still found the touch. I'm really appreciative of how Ripley's been able to turn this game around down 2-0. Shows a bit of that resolve, but now under the pump, this Linwood attack has been pretty relentless. Inbor again, though, is the one who finds the clearing play.
Yeah, Inbor with that far clear does relieve a lot of that pressure. And here comes Matthew now with the air dribble going maybe for a double touch. He didn't really have enough boost to kind of go for it, but at the same time he does advance that one, relieves that initial pressure, and takes the ball away from the Raptors because they were starting to heat up a little bit over here, Max. But you know, Linwood needs to do a better job at responding to these two goals. My apologies, because so far at this point in time, it's been 2 unanswered goals in favor of the Raptors.
Yeah, it has been. So the 2 unanswered was answering the 2 unanswered, so it all makes sense, you know, and everyone just has to turn their voice machine off or something. Homeboy Jesus, going back to the voice machine, we're an answering machine. Don't turn off your voice machine. That's important for speaking.
60 seconds left. Matthew with a great save, by the way. Just caught the tail end of that one as my camera switched over to the opponent view, and Matthew's pretty much just been doing it all on the defensive end. 3 saves so far. Still lots of time left in this ball game, and maybe a potential overtime as well. You see Inbor didn't really have enough boost to kind of have the secondary touch, but makes the defense think twice about going for that challenge. I do like the mix-up that they're doing right now. They're not really trying to get that first obvious point of attack. They're starting to try to, you know, mix it up here with a couple of these angles.
Yeah, that they are. And Inbor is going to be the one who gets a nice pinch that will actually cross up the entirety of the defense. Sweat has to lead the charge into the corner. Xavier's right on him. They're bundled up. Homeboy with the good touch here could set up something. There's no one on that corridor. In fact, Homeboy winds up back passing it to Inbor, who didn't look entirely ready for it. Matthew already in position for the dunk. A chance for Sweat. Doesn't make contact, but leaves it for Xavier. The shot is up. It is high. Homeboy tries to find the clear. Sweat keeps the pressure on. Matthew's outside the box. Do we get the dish down? No. Letting it fall instead. Matthew won't find the dunk, and we go to overtime.
But not have it any other way. This is going to be so crucial. Raptors trying to stay alive, and look what it is. It's another one. A kickoff goal in favor of the Raptors. That one just hit right off the ceiling. Matthew caught off guard, going for boost in that situation. And that's why 9 times out of 10 in overtime, I don't go for a boost in that situation.
Now you gotta make sure you can get that save. You don't want to lose a quick one like that. Now we have ourselves a tied series again. Whoops! I feel like this could be a long day. I think we're gonna get a lot of game 4s and 5s with just how tight this competition is. No sweeps allowed on stream.
I mean, I was going to say it was going to be such a wild predicament because, you know, the Raptors needed to score and they needed to win that ball game, because if not, then Linwood was going to be facing that match point. That's why it was so crucial, but it was such a short-lived overtime. I never got my point really across, so it was unfortunate. But I do love to see it. Like you said, I really do believe that a lot of these matches today, this is going to be some of the best Rocket League that we're going to have to offer here for the league play that we've had so far.
Yeah, I think so. And again, this is why league play is so much fun, because, you know, you get to see not only these matches once, but it's also a double round robin. So, like, all these teams get to play each other twice before we cut it off to that top 4 for the playoffs. I mean, it is a lot of fun. And I honestly do feel like the top 4 teams in this league, they all have a chance to win it all at this stage. I need to see a bit more, I feel like, from, you know, maybe a couple of those other teams down at the bottom, from the Saints and from Light and Tanky, to see how competitive they can look. But hopefully they get up there as well, and we do get a very, very tight just league play in general, which we're heading towards right now, especially if Ripley can get this win over Linwood, and then we'll have no undefeated teams after 3 rounds of play.
That'd be crazy to see that stat live up to the hype right there, Max. I would love to see that as well. No undefeated teams, no teams. I mean, everybody's beatable. I mean, I say that for Rocket League in general. Everybody is beatable. You know, this is just a video game that, you know, sometimes you're on, sometimes you're off, and, you know, like I said today was not the Toners' day, and right now Linwood trying to still be the only undefeated team. Xavier with a good shot. That was going to be too far to the left-hand side, and I want to say this, though, Max. I am liking what I'm seeing out of the Raptors. Like I said beforehand, they have improved so much, just dramatically, since last week.
Yeah, and I'm trying to piece together what we're seeing from them, and I am seeing more established roles. Invor has been playing first man quite consistently with Homeboy and Hill Devils playing far back, but they're also playing very far back at times to really decrease the chances of those unforced errors and have a lot more consistent defense. It has kind of conceded a bit of the attacking pressure, but as long as they get those 1 or 2 goals that they need, I think they'll be fine with this approach, but it really is required for them to get that first goal if we're going to continue to see, you know, such deep defensive play.
I mean, they didn't get the first goal, nor the second goal, I believe, that last game, too. And they fought their way back and got the third unanswered goal. So far, it's been a drought for Linwood. They haven't really scored a couple goals since the first opening minutes of that last ball game. A lot of demolition starting to fly out as some of these feelings and emotions and frustrations of these open net misses.
And that's the shot, and that's the goal. Great play from the Ripley side. It's set up with the Invor bump right here, and Homeboy, you trust in these situations, Whoops, and that is how Ripley takes the lead.
And not only that, but Xavier just caught awkward on the rotation back through as well. His Fennec facing, you know, kind of the wrong way, but I think he was just lack of boost too. He couldn't really challenge that tough shot right there from Homeboy Jesus. So good first shot, and like you asked for, Max, the Raptors finally have the lead in the first initial shot.
And then they triple commit in the corner. But they don't get punished right away. Matthew actually could punish right here. Hill Devils,
what a
diving save. Nice recovery. But you want to know something kind of bizarre? This is the first in-game lead Ripley has had this series.
I believe so. I was going to say that as well. I think that's the first time that they actually even scored first, too. So it's going to be a short-lived lead, though. Matthew's going to score with a clean shot and first initial contact right here, too. Demolition as well. Invor just trying to do the best they possibly can after being caught off guard, picking up that boost in the corner.
Yeah, that was a beautiful dunk, just taking advantage of maybe that slower rotation when you attempt to go for the boost. Either way, tie ball game once again, but a kickoff opportunity for Homeboy. Doesn't get the second touchdown and in.
I knew I wasn't going to get the second kickoff goal. I'm crying internally right now.
Yeah, turn on them. Now you want them to lose, right? That's what happens. Miss the kickoff goal, and then you're on Whoop's bad side.
Exactly. I do want to point out, though, that was a speedy shot, though. Thinking back to that Matthew shot, it was 98 miles per hour in freedom units.
Yep, that's not the measurement we use here. Homeboy over the top of 3 makes it 2-1.
Oh, that's just so unfortunate. You've seen it. I've seen it happening, too. As like Homeboy Jesus just has to put a shot towards net right here, and everybody was just bundled up on the goal line for Linwood. Xavier was trying to get out the box and try to give his teammates some time, but that just hits off the Sweats Fennec and right into the lower 90 of Linwood's net. So unfortunate right there, but if you're a Raptors fan, you love to see it.
Yeah, that you especially love to see, you know, the Raptors with a lead and another goal in for Mitchell from midfield. Such a fast play and shot. Another quick goal, 148 kilometers per hour, and from the middle of the pitch.
That's insane. That's just flat car powers right there, okay? You can't muster that much speed up like that from midfield with an Octane or a Fennec. That's just, you know, Dominus hitbox things.
I don't even think that's a breakout. I'm pretty sure that's not even the Dominus hitbox. That's even flatter as it's played out there. Because everyone was talking about, yeah, they believe the breakout is the best car in the text chat, like in the Twitch chat. And I think that's why, because of the power you can get off those shots like that.
Well, I know for a fact as from a Mudcat main myself, okay, I think it's an Octane hitbox, and that just feels like a better hitbox in my personal opinion. So it all just comes down to feel whenever it comes down to any one of these cars. And, you know, if you're playing well with it, then people can't really be like, oh, well, it's the car problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's always going to be preference at the end of the day. I mean, I rock the Dominus still, so you know how I agree. When the last remaining bastions of the Dominus. People don't like it anymore.
No, I mean, it is dying out slowly. I think a lot of pros and just a lot of players in general switching over to the Fennec. From the Octane, even the Octane was the dominant, you know, car for the longest time. Regardless, I mean, regardless, my apologies. Yeah. This matchup, the Raptors winning 3-1. 30 seconds left, under 30 seconds now, 20 seconds close to. Xavier and Linwood trying not to be forced onto match point. It's looking like it's going to happen, though, as this one is quickly dwindling down time-wise.
Yeah, it is going to be Ripley with the 2-1 lead. Although with that demo, Matthew has a chance. Isn't able to get over the top of the homeboy, and Sweat's denied by Invor. So, with Game 3 done and dusted, it is going to be match point to the Ripley Raptors. Drop Game 1, win the next 2. Can they complete 3 in a row, or will we get the response from the undefeated Linwood side?
I don't know, Max. I don't know. I'm not liking what I'm seeing out here. No, I mean, Ripley has definitely been, they've been playing, like you said before. And like I said, I want to see them succeed. I really do. But at the same time, I felt like Linwood was going to be the more dominant team coming into this matchup. And, Game 1 was such a different tale of the script. We saw Linwood just being, I'm not going to say dominant for the whole entire time, but they definitely played better as a team. Whereas now you're starting to see Ripley start to pop off solo, start to take advantage of some of these rotations. And on top of that, you're starting to see them kind of, play together more cohesively, I guess you can kind of say, than Linwood has been. Linwood has been a little bit rattled, in my personal opinion.
That they have. And, I mean, we saw a similar thing back in our first series as well, actually, if we kind of go back to what happened with the Toners. As soon as things started to get a little wonky for them, we saw more and more unforced errors, more and more positional mistakes, and I'm wondering if that's going to be the case here. I mean, Rocket League, it's said time and time again, it's such a momentum-based game, and momentum favoring the Queensland side right now. Can they keep it, though, going for one more game? Good opening chance right here, but Hill Devils and Homeboy can't connect.
I'll tell you what, Invor has won the hearts of many here in the Twitch chat. I just see constant spam of just Invor breakout.
Yeah, but those are from his teammates. That doesn't count. Hey,
you can't take that away from him, okay? Invor we trust. Okay, that's all I'm going to really say in that situation. I'm not hopping on the bandwagon just yet. Good shot right there from Invor. The defense, though, from Linwood standing tall.
I mean, look, if you're going to hop on any bandwagon, you hop on Alex's bandwagon there in the chat, or Matthews in front of us with that dribble top posted in.
I had the best angle possible from my perspective on that one, too. I saw Matthew. Oh, my goodness. I'm putting that one on his highlight reel for him. That was insane.
Yeah, hi, YouTube, says Invor in the in-game chat right after that. Fair enough. That reset was clean, the goal cleaner, and now with a 1-0 lead, Linwood back in the driver's seat where they feel like they belong.
Yeah, still a lot of time left, though. I mean, we've seen the fight back and forth pretty much between these two teams. We saw, thinking back to game number 1, it was pretty much goal for goal at that point in time. Game 2 was, in favor of Linwood 2-0. Then, of course, the Raptors got it done in overtime, and the last game was, I think, pretty much controlled by the Raptors the whole entire time. But still, lots of time left. But you're starting to see Linwood's, heat up just a tad bit, starting to apply a lot of pressure onto the backs of the Raptors.
And we'll see if they can find it. Matthew looking for that top corner, not quite going to connect on it. Xavier, nowhere safe to put it, so throws it to the middle where Homeboy will pop it up. Matthew, though, no way he does it twice. Whoops. No way he does it twice. There's the reset, but no power behind it.
It's unfortunate to see. You love to see the mechanics. You love to see, pretty much everything lining up for you, except you just do not get that goal. I do want to point out, though, Invor changed from the breakout over to the Honda Civic. I haven't even noticed that until just now. I was just so used to just pretty much copying and pasting the breakout in his positioning. And his car is pretty much similar as well, so, kind of the same colors. But, yeah, using the Honda Civic.
I'm going to play armchair therapist or analyst or whatever it is. I'm not sure I like switching up the car when the last one was working so good for him. It felt like things were gelling with the breakout, and now you mix it up, concede the first goal. I don't know. Invor, though, does beat out Sweat there.
And I want to say the Honda Civic is a different hitbox, too. Like you said, the breakout is its own hitbox, whereas the Honda Civic goes after the Octane, I believe, because I use the Honda Civic as well, so it's just one of those cars. It's kind of just weird, like you said, to see him switch it up when he was being successful that last game.
As we do see, well, let's see what Homeboy can do. Feels backflip in the air. That was a little bit awkward. Invor tries to recover, but at the end of the day, not much to salvage in that play. Chance for Linwood to come back the other way, but they'd rather play that defensive game. They're keeping so many people back, and maybe that's a good thing because Xavier just straight whiffed.
Unfortunate right there. Big missed opportunity. Matthew gonna find the second goal, though. Big time pressure. His second goal of the game as well. Just a missed touch right there. Not a touch at all, I think, from Homeboy Jesus. I was gonna say he might have just laid that one up for him, but he actually just missed contact.
Missed contact, 2-0 lead, and last time we saw a 2-0 lead, Ripley did bring it back, but there was a lot more time on the clock then. This is looking likely. We're going to Champions Field as Sweat looks to drop it down. Matthew misses, but so does Homeboy. Everyone just swinging and missing left, right, and center. Finally, Xavier clears it to the other side.
And I want to point out, too, Invor and Matthew, his hat trick now. I can't take this one away from him. Hi, YouTube, once again. A little bit of a mistouch right there from Invor. Matthew just pre-jumped pretty much that one and just put that one right in the faces of the Raptors defense. And I want to point out, I was going to say that Invor only has 50 points this ball game since switched over to the Honda Civic, and it's just unfortunate. It really is.
He's commented on it, should have went breakout. Like, he knows,
Yeah.
That's on me, guys. That's on me, team, he says. But in reality, we should take it away from Linwood. Linwood has improved their play. They've cut down on their mistakes,
Yes,
I feel like,
yes.
and we're starting to see again, you know, that Linwood strength and looking like Champions Field right now. Game 5, I'm so curious how this will play out. If we get there, Homeboy, no! And Hill Devils wide, and okay,
still have a
third
second
shot
shot.
does
There you
go
go.
in. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was still there lurking, and, you know, that floater of a pass right there going to be in favor of the Raptors. So a good advancement right there from V-Hill Devils. And on top of that, Homeboy Jesus is kind of lurking towards that back end. And, you know, the defense just being kind of sucked up and, you know, drawn initially for that first initial contact that V-Hill Devils had. So good job right there for the Raptors getting right back on the board. But is it too little too late, Max? That's the question.
I mean, if they get another quick goal, I could still kind of believe in the comeback happening. But the big thing
yeah.
is they have to shut down that guy, Matthew, who has been the catalyst force for Linwood's successes. I mean, all of their touches have been dangerous. We'll see how it happens. That's how you shut him down. Well, if that demo had been on Matthew instead it was on Sweat. Either way, I thought for a moment they hit the right target. But you know what? It is what it is. Xavier clears it back to the orange side.
Yeah, I just want to point out the quick fact that Matthew has almost 700 points, where his teammates are just breaking 150, whereas Sweat has 100. So, I mean, Matthew has been unleashed at this point in time. He almost just scored another goal. And that's such a tough angle to read that one off the back wall, but he almost got that one.
As we see Balkas kind of bouncing around middle of the
That's a good
pitch.
shot.
Xavier's punished. We'll put this game to bed. It's going to be a victory over to Linwood. We're going to Game 5. Ripley got a tough task ahead of them now.
Yeah, it's just a good shot right there from Xavier, recognizing the defense is just pretty much fighting at midfield. It was Homeboy Jesus and I believe V-Hill Devils who was at that midfield line, and they just could not get it past that tough offense right there of Linwood, and right back to work they go. I hope it's not one of these situations where you see Linwood just kind of, you know, come out in this and just kind of get burnt out, and you know, hopefully they carry this momentum over with them into game number 5. Final seconds taken away, 4-1. This was all had been decided since that second goal, but of course, a little bit of a momentum swing in favor of the Raptors at the 0-second mark.
I love this fake. This is silly. I mean, you can just see everyone diving, trying to make the pre-jump save, and Hill Devils is like, yeah, I'll let it ride. I'll roll it in. Fair enough. Okay, here we go. Champions Field for the first time today. Linwood looking to remain undefeated. Ripley Raptors looking to get into that winning record. And, I mean, regardless which side wins it, I have to go back to that previous point. Whoops. The top 4 teams in this league, I think any of them can beat each other. It's just like at any given day, the competition's so close here at the top. But if Matthew continues this form, Linwood might actually be the best team.
That's what I was trying to say to you earlier. Linwood
Yeah,
looks
but I didn't
so
believe you before, and now I do.
Well, I'm sorry, Max, and I think you're just trying to be nice because secretly you're trying to cast or curse Linwood. I think that's what you're trying to do ultimately. But no, I want to point out that, yeah, I mean, obviously Matthew just took over in this last game, but I mean, thinking back all the way to game number 1, everybody got involved there for Linwood, walking away with 1 goal apiece, and you know the score lines themselves were all just so even for Linwood. That's what made them so tough. Look at the shot right here, but the save from Homeboy Jesus through the smoke. Even that ball was coming through, and Homeboy Jesus had a perfect read.
I wonder how blind that really was. Either way, reset for Invor, trying to fake it, go underneath, isn't able to punch it through. So 2 close attempts each way. Both defenses hold resolute, at least for now. Still more pressure coming from Homeboy. Matthew gets there first. Invor Wanted to slow it down, pops it too high. Matthew already there for the punish off the backboard. Xavier behind the midfield line still goes for it. Won't be able to put on an accurate shot.
It's such a back and forth matchup we have here. Sweat just missing contact right there as well, but Inboor is going to have some sort of bump onto Matthew. Look at the read.
Whoa.
Another missed opportunity from Xavier. Good demolition, though, does negate that offensive strut that you see the Raptors started to mount. Inboor, 100 boost and a dream. Can he get going? He has the air dribble, trying to go for the flip reset. Can't get it underneath it. That one's going to be easily saved away by Linwood.
As we do see the ball center down to Hill Devils, who beats the defense. Tight cut, too tight for Linwood, and it's 1-0 in favor of Ripley.
Yeah, this is just a miscommunication right there from Linwood. Matthew, both of them getting sucked up here from the defensive end, trying to challenge that ball early, taking away that shooting lane that V Hill Devils had. And on top of that, just beating the defense, like you said, just being too fast at that point of attack. So, another starting opening goal here for the Raptors. This is exactly the situation you want to be in.
Yeah, Ripley holding down the fort, looking strong right now. But, I mean, we haven't seen Linwood get shut out yet. Highly doubt it's going to happen here on Champions Field. Matthew is just too dynamic of a player to keep down. We'll see what the rest of the team can do as well, because Xavier's playing setup right here. Pass back to the middle. A chance for someone to press forward. Sweat just straight up misses everything, and Matthew has to slow play it. Gets past one, but not the second defender, and I can't help but feel like this could be an opportunity thrown asunder.
I don't know. We're going to see. Linwood has the ball. They're starting to have a lot of pressure as well. It's a good beat right here from Matthew. This should be a goal. It is. Sweat with a great read, but an even better individual play, beating two defenders right there is Matthew.
It's too good. Matthew is just too good sometimes. Two defenders up in the corner. Neither could find the touch. Neither could slow him down. And with the pass, 1v1, Sweat comes through. And tie ball game once again, 3 minutes on the clock. Demo may have just saved, actually, a goal right there, because it was going to be a 2v1.
I was going to say, Sweat had the midfield boost. He did take it away from a lot of people who were hunting for that one. This one could be a waterfall pass down. Homeboy Jesus denied, though. Not even a save nor a shot on record, but we both know that that's not the truth. Xavier missing the advancement upfield. Matthew putting this one right back towards. There's the shot. There's the save. Inboard Matthew can get credit for those two.
Games that are streamed need like a stat tracker, like in baseball, who just like does it themselves. Inboard from out of nowhere finds that touch and is able to fake out the defense. 2-1 lead.
I was going to say, I have a stat for you. Inboard, 1 goal, and on top of that, the lead now for the Raptors as well. That's crazy. A good backdoor shot placement right there for Inboard. Just catching the rotation of the defense and pretty much the momentum too. Sometimes the defense starts to kind of flow with the ball, especially when it starts coming across the net like that towards the goal line. And that's exactly what happened in that situation. Raptors took full advantage of it.
That they did, and now 2 minutes 17 seconds. It's a long time to hold off Matthew and co, especially with Sweat stepping up so far here in this 5th game. Inboard, though, may have just found that magic touch. They'll try to chase it up. Second touch is good. Anyone in the middle? Homeboy's there, but doesn't want the straight shot. Plays backward for Hill Devils. Finds the bump. They find the goal. It's a 2-point lead for Ripley.
Yeah, the Raptors just starting to heat up here at this point in time, and that was courtesy of Homeboy Jesus hunting down the defense, forcing them into the back of the net right there. Xavier couldn't get a second touch, or couldn't get the read, I should say. B Hill Devils just an easy gimme goal. Still, 2 minutes, though, left in this ball game. Only down by 2 is Linwood. This is the last undefeated team left inside league play. Can the Raptors pull this off?
I think they might, although it's going to be a long 100 seconds, especially with this guy with possession, open net. No! Doesn't find the shot, and that should have been such a gimme for a player of Matthew's caliber. Instead, we come back the other way. Oh, heartbreaking opportunity thrown asunder again for Linwood, and now they have to play defense once more.
Yeah, on top of that, I think they're on the wrong side of the rotation as far as the boost spawns go, too, because the Raptors pretty much started to suffocate them at that point in time. Xavier was trying to go for a flick. He did have the gather, just did not have the touch because it was challenged early. Here comes Homeboy Jesus into the corner. That one's going to be popped up towards midfield. Sweat and Matthew getting tangled up at midfield. Sweat actually hitting Matthew forward. I'm not too sure what was going on with the communication there for Linwood, but it was definitely not in their favor.
Nope, and now it comes back the other way. Xavier's going to try to cross something up. Instead, Invor's tight cut. But that's all three members of Ripley forward. A chance for a fast counter could be lethal. Matthew down, now tries to get it through, force it into a scoring position. But there was no one there for the shot, and these opportunities, they're waning for the Linwood side. Shot from Homeboy, not quite on target. Hill Devils, though, still keeps the ball on the blue side backboard.
That's so unfortunate. A couple of missed opportunities coming out for Linwood to even cut this lead down to 1. On top of that, Ripley Raptors Blue just trying to put this one away. A couple of missed opportunities for them as well. This was off the backboard.
Oh.
Can Xavier get it? He is. I was going to say he had to be waiting for that one. Matthew could have had the shot as well. But regardless, now we have ourselves a ball game. Linwood only down by 1.
Oh, boy. And you know what they need? One of your kickoff goals. Whoops.
Here we go.
They need it, and they need it now.
You cast it first on purpose.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, Xavier's cheat, not in the right position, so they'll have to go back to their own corner, which means they're going to need to score this goal the hard way with only 8 seconds to go.
That's a good midfield pass, though. Xavier pushes that one right back towards through Inward, playing some big-time defense. Last chance right here. 100 boost. Not going to get the read off the sidewall. No! Oh, my goodness. Sweat. Gonna let that one roll up and out, and the Raptors pull off the upset here, Max, and take the win over Linwood.
Oh, it's the win. You said it was the upset, and I mean, time will tell how upsetting that really was, but with that Game 5 victory, Ripley has dethroned the last undefeated team. No team made it to 3-0 in this event. No team was able to take the 3 in a row at this stage, but that just means the top 4 teams are that closely combated. Now, the Toners did win their second game played today. They have beat the MRC Saints off stream, but moving ahead right now, this has truly becomes anyone's ball game.
Yeah, I mean, the league has just been opened wide up, and I tell you what, Max, like I said beforehand, this has been some of the best Rocket League that we had to offer in this league play so far, and we have some more Rocket League action for everybody as well, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you guys after this break.
Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight. Don't you hang up again, baby. I just can't be alone tonight.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Thank you very much for sticking with us through that break. This is the AEL High School Cup. My name is Whoopsyou. Joined alongside of me is my good friend Max Formal. And if you guys missed it, you guys missed some awesome Rocket League action. Kendron taking on the Toners in game number 1, winning that matchup 3-1. And then the last matchup that we had on stream was the Ripley Raptors blue team taking on Linwood, and they won that matchup 3-2. And now we have a merge going on. Game number 1, Kendron taking on Ripley Raptors. But before we get to that action, Max, real quick, I want to shout out our sponsors of this lovely tournament, making all this possible here for us to get things done and provide all this lovely prize pooling and bring all these high school teams together. First up on the list, of course, we have Predator Gaming, the gaming PC partner who provided high-end gaming focused PC solutions in both laptop and desktop formats, powered by Intel, of course. And of course, we have to pair that with a great monitor, AOC monitors. The gaming monitor partner provided best-in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all other needs.
Also, of course, Indomie, the noodle partner, made with high-quality flour and select ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. It is lunchtime about now, so do get out there and kind of get on it, because you can try any one of their flavors available today from your local grocer or at indomie.com.au. And Game On Cancer, the charity of choice for the AEL, who fund much-needed cancer research projects with the AEL, donating a portion of all student participation fees to this life-saving cause. If you'd like to donate as well, please head to AEL's Tiltify campaign page, and you can learn more about it. You can scan that QR code while you're eating your Indomie noodles with your AOC monitor with your Predator Gaming PC. Get geared up for this match. Look, this is going to be a fun one, Whoops, because it is the two teams that have each taken down an undefeated side.
Yep.
This could be the battle for number 1 on the high school power rankings, as it were.
I agree with you on that one. I'm not too even sure who to lean towards. I know before in the past I was so sure. I'm 1-on-1 for the day. I think you're 1-on-1 for the day as well. I can't really decide as to who I'm going to pick, because like I said, I have such a strong love for the Raptors. I want to see them succeed. I think me and you were talking, through that break a little bit. We were talking about how they're kind of our sleeper team here. They've been kind of a little bit docile, hanging out in the middle of the standings essentially. And now they're starting to heat up. Now they're starting to flourish a little bit. But at the same time, you have to think back or think over to Kendron and this tough team. People like Troby on this team, people like Levi who could pop off on this squad as well. And of course, you got Def V, who just always finds himself at the right place at the right time. So it's gonna be a tough matchup, I think, Max.
I do too, and I think if you look at it mechanically, I kind of like Ripley better, but if you look at the game sense, I kind of have to lean towards Kedron. And in this situation, if you were to force me to make a pick, I'd kind of be more on the Kedron side, actually. I really like the way how Troby played that first series. I feel like Levi also can go toe-for-toe for the most part mechanically with, the likes of Homeboy or the likes of Invor. So I like Kendron in this.
I'm kind of leaning towards Kendron as well. Just how well they played against the Toners is just really kind of imprinted in my brain, kind of like the peak performance as to what they really can obtain. I do like the Raptors, like I said before. I hate rooting against them, but it's just one of those things where I feel like Kendron could be hot right now, but that could work out against us because we just seen Ripley play on stream against Linwood, so they're coming off a very, very hot game, and on top of that, a long series.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no denying Ripley probably is going to be the warmer team. In fact, I would expect them to take the first game, and I wouldn't be surprised if we go back to Champions Field one more time. But at the end of the day, look, I'm happy because it's Queensland's going to win. So Queensland's going to stay undefeated. Or I can't say undefeated, but Queensland's going to keep 100% win rate on stream no matter what at the end of this.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's good. That's good for, our Australia's Sunshine State.
I was going to say, none of that means anything relevant to me whatsoever. I'm just playing. I mean, you and Gex just talk so much about Queensland all the time, and I want to see you guys.
That's why.
I want to see you guys be happy at the end of the day, okay, Max? That's all it comes down to.
Joke's on you. I'm never happy. Either way, 4:37 to go on this one. As we're going to see Homeboy get pressured by Troby. Actually does a good job to slow down and avoid it. Levi's clearing touch. Looks all right. The demo game in full force, though, for Ripley, and that's something they're going to have to be a little bit reliant on if they're going to, find ways to crack this Kedron defense.
Yeah, I was going to say that. And I think, thinking back into the chat, I think it was Troby who was asking me to caster curse, Ripley Raptors Blue for them, and I was like, no, you guys don't need a caster curse. You guys are too good anyway, so you guys need a caster curse in your favor. But I think we might have cursed them by both picking them in this situation, as Invor has a nice air dribble trying to get past Troby himself and didn't quite do it.
I mean, that's why we need like a third person on our pregame desk, so they can pick the other side for close matches like this. Homeboy puts it through, reminding us why it's not fair that it's 100% casters picking one side.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we're gonna have to have the referee just kind of type in chat like who he thinks or who they think is gonna win.
Nah, Bass would choose Kedron as well. I know where Bass would go. Bass would go Kedron, but that's okay. It's going to be a 1-0 lead right now in favor of the Ripley side as Homeboy's going to try to clear it across the middle of the field. Levi there to play catch, and now finds the second touch. All three defenders bit, but there was no one there to finish the deal.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate. A big time missed opportunity right there for Kendron. Levi wants that shot back, and maybe he gets it back as well. Homeboy Jesus still on the rotation back through, being that strong third man here for this Ripley Raptor squad. Levi off the back wall. This one could be a pass, but the demolition before that happened pretty much erases that second person up for Kendron. So good, strong defense right there presented by the Raptors.
Yeah, strong defense holding for the time being. In fact, they're going to be able to flip it back the other way. Invor with the chance underneath. Shot straight on Troby. He'll make the save on the goal line. Double commit trying to play out, and that's going to make things a little awkward perhaps, or maybe not. Good demo from Def V, but Invor still time to just take the touch that they want. Troby still reads it, but because of the second demo, there's no one for Troby to pass it to.
And once again, the demolition strategy working out right now for the Raptors. And you said that maybe this is what they need to push past Kendron. So far, it's been working out. They have the lead, and on top of that, they have been negating a lot of the offense that Kendron has to offer. Once again, they find themselves with possession, trying to maybe score another goal. Comes V-Hill Devils off the back wall. That was going to be easily read and taken away by Troby. This is an open opportunity. Can they get this Invor up in the air off the backboard? A double commit on the offensive end is going to lead to nothing. Another shot being fired by Deb, and that's not going to find its mark either.
Yeah, they needed that to go crossbar down and in, but the bigger mistake was that double commit. The offensive rotation's just not on point. And Kedron, I mean, if you go back to their series before, they never really had sustained offensive attacks. It was always quick counters. It was always sort of fast strikes. And, well, this was a longer stay on the blue side of the pitch. It results in a goal.
Yeah, I was going to say, I agree with you on that one. It was a lot more quick strikes, but on top of that, this is a great shot. Defense on the rotation back through really can't quite figure it out. The Homeboy Jesus, closest person possible. It just could not get underneath that one. Unfortunate situation right there to be in if you are the Raptors. So we have ourselves a tie ball game now. Invor maybe trying to change that one as I'm trying to, present a storyline here. Invor, chill out a little bit. I'm trying to present the hype here. But at the same time, like you said, this is a good battle, and this could be a battle for the standings, and it might be relevant in the future.
I think it's going to be very relevant. I mean, in these league play games, just because a match might be earlier in the season doesn't mean it's any less important, especially with how tight the top 4 is going to be. If you can beat other teams within that top 4, you are doing yourself so many favors. So this is a big-time match, and you want to start off with that right foot forward right now. Still a very tight opening game as Hill Devils passes it back, looking for Homeboy. Not going to be able to connect. Troby's there to push it forward instead. Midfield being set up by the Kedron side. When will they pull the trigger and look for that goal?
Like you said beforehand, the Toners did win that off-stream match as well against the Saints, and currently still sitting in that first place spot, I believe, in 3-1 record. So, at the conclusion of this game, we should have some more updated standings. But regardless, 40 seconds left here in this game number 1, and this could go any way. And both of these teams playing phenomenal. They both had some pressure. They both had some huge missed opportunities, but I can really foresee this one, like you said, going to that game number 5.
Yeah, and it's getting closer and closer. Well, at least to game number 2 right now, but it's going to be an overtime first unless something crazy happens here. As we do see Invor come back up that other way. Won't get that second touch now underneath. Hill Devils crosses things up. Def, not really getting the immediate touch. Instead of coming back up that other way. Homeboy try to find the centering play, but again, no one's there. I think we're going to overtime. Whoops, unless, no, Levi gets the save.
I was going to say, don't cast or curse them just yet. Another waterfall, almost in the favor of the Raptors, but instead we do see ourselves in this overtime situation. Golden goal opportunity is upon us. No kickoff goal to end this one with the first final seconds. I can maybe see this one being like a good 4-minute overtime match with the way that these guys have been playing so far.
Yeah, I think we could get something along like that as Levi's going to try to cross things up. Invor and Homeboy are there. Invor tries to stay with it, but Def V steals it away. Now Troby looking to throw it down. Def V, opposite side, shot accurate, and it is in. Kedron takes game 1.
I expected somebody to challenge this one from anywhere and not Def V just sit there and just have the easiest pop shot. The easiest pop shot of his career to have himself an overtime goal. First game going to Kedron.
Yeah, fantastic opening game for that Kedron side. They gave up the first goal, but they're able to come back, find themselves in it. Low shooting game again for Kedron, despite the fact they spent a majority of that game on the blue side of the pitch. I feel like, it really shows they're looking for control more than those sort of quick strikes that we saw in that previous series. And I like that a team has multiple looks.
Yeah, I like that as well. There's just a lot of opportunities there for, each team. But like I said beforehand, just a lot of missed opportunities. So a couple of times you see Kedron just struggling to score a goal. And I don't want Ripley Raptors to kind of fall into that habit as well. That's where they've been struggling the whole entire season with. They struggled against them last week against the Toners, where they had a lot of good looks, but just their shots were just a little bit too wide to the left, a little bit too right to the right-hand side. It was just a lot of just missed opportunities for Ripley. Now they're starting to find themselves back in that situation again, and you can't do that against Kedron. You cannot afford to play, just down, I guess you could say, to their level of Rocket League, where you just are laying the ball up to them by making a mistake. You know what I mean? So it's just unfortunate. It's to kind of see them in that situation. So hopefully they get things figured out, and hopefully we can see them, kind of bounce back.
Yeah, well, we will see that as a little bit of a tech delay once again for a quick lobby reset. Hopefully it won't take too long, and we'll be able to get back into the action without too much time. But as it goes, you have to reset the lobby, quick test, so it could be a bit of a break. But that's probably going to be beneficial, I feel like, for the Ripley side, because they do get some time to mentally reset themselves and gear up for the second game.
Agree with you on that one as well. Basically the Raptors could use this little bit of a break to kind of talk about some things that kind of happened in game number 1, and Kedron cools down just a tad bit. We suspected that Kedron was going to win the whole entire series, and we suspected that the Raptors were going to come in here and be the hotter team, but that wasn't the case here, Max. I mean, I think Kedron did a really good job at responding and stepping up to the challenge. Of course, like I said before, it was just a little bit back and forth, and it could have went either way, but ultimately it came down to that golden goal situation, and Kedron clutched up.
Yeah, that they did, but I still think, this series is far from over. That said, I would go so far to say that this is going to be a must-win game for Ripley, because if Kedron gets that 2-0 lead, with the way how they're playing, I could see them actually getting that sweep, potentially. Likely, I should say, not potentially, likely, if they do take game 2. So maybe a bit more pressure on that Ripley side, but we saw them rise to the pressure before. It kind of made them play better back in our second series of the day, so it's why I feel like Ripley is going to bounce back in the second game.
I mean, it's a bold statement that you just said. You called a sweep just now, and that's kind of wild to kind of hear that, because I really feel like it's more even than that on the pitch, to be honest with you. I just feel like Kendron, they are a very momentum-based team, like you said. They have to capitalize, I guess, on a couple of things on the offense and defensive end, but at the same time, I really feel like it's not going to be a quick 3-0 sweep in favor of Kendron.
I mean, again, I said it's a sweep if Kedron wins, as they get the kickoff goal right here. I did say Ripley is kind of my pick to take this game, however, so I don't think it's a sweep. But with kickoff goals like that, maybe my first instinct might have been right.
Hey, you're just trying to put on a good show here, just like everybody else is on the pitch. But that's the 4th goal tonight, kickoff for Kendron. I just want to point that one out.
Yeah, they're scoring a lot. They're scoring a lot, and they're scoring fast. And now a chance to respond. Homeboy wanted to find Invor, but the pass a little too tight in the corner. Not going to get across. Good read from Def, and once again, we flip the match.
Still, of course, a lot of time left, and this ball game really just started. Good takeaway right there. Invor just loves to play with his car colors. I want to point that out. Yeah, good flip reset right there from Troby. Oh, the foul touch for Levi. Not going to find his mark, but Dev B there. Like I said, always there at the right place at the right time. And it's pretty much just, living and dying by the aggressive play style right there from Kendron, and it works out in their favor this time.
It shouldn't have worked. It shouldn't have worked, but yeah. I mean, it was panic defense, everyone jumping in sync, no one really working together to cover as much as that goal as possible, and it's always difficult when you're stagnant in net, not knowing when and where that shot is coming. Either way, 2-goal lead for Kendron. This is not the start Ripley was looking for. Whoops.
Listen, I want to go back to what I was talking about earlier. I think Invor literally is doing this to us on purpose. Like, he loves to play with his car colors to mess.
Is he doing that to us on purpose? Was that one on purpose as well?
He's feeding into the script at this point in time, okay? He's trying to make you right, and I don't like it. He wants to say that, hey, Max is right. We beat the other team. Whoops was wrong. Okay, we beat Linwood. And on top of that, now we're going to stand true to Max's word and just let, Kendron sweep us.
I think this is the last we're seeing the breakout today, by the way, as well, after that touch.
I don't think so. He live and die by the breakout. But I want to point out, officially past 1 minute in this game, and there's 3 goals.
Yeah, and you know what? 2 of them scored by Kendron. But either way, Def B is going to rotate back. Troby now with that lob touch is going to first Homeboy to race back as well. No, that is a good point, because this is about as bad of a start as you can get for this Ripley side. 2 quick goals, the own goal on top of it. If they're going to find a way to dig out of this hole, it would show resolve that you don't normally expect at that high school level. So eyes on them to see how they recover. They're going to have a chance here. Invor going to go for a slower dribble play and can't get it past the first defender.
I was going to say, but we have seen beforehand in the past, as you see, a great demolition onto Invor. And then on top of that, just a great follow-up touch as well by Levi. But I want to say that we've seen beforehand in the past, thinking back to that last series, the Raptors were down 2-0, and they fought back and then won in overtime. So, I mean, had that last goal not been in favor of Kendron, I would say that I still believe that the Raptors can come back. But now it's definitely a tough ask.
Yeah, 4-0, about to become 5-0. I'm not seeing it in this game, at least. I think this one kind of is starting into a little bit of a write-off, as Hill Devils has actually just left the match. So
yeah, I don't understand what happened with him either. I'm not too sure.
I expect a pause. Yep, there it is. Okay, so this goal might come back. I'm thinking that might have been a disconnect.
I don't know if he disconnected or if it was just a rage quit at that point in time. I don't really know what happened, because I think the goal happens and then he quit. I'm not too sure, but that's just what I seen. So whatever it may be, this one really got out of control quickly, of course, in favor of Kendron, who's currently winning.
That looks like that could be a. You might be right with your assessment there. Whoops.
Yeah, that's insane. I'm not gonna say what he said, but regardless, Kendron they started to pull away in this matchup ridiculously. And I feel like that has a lot to do with what happened here with the Raptors as to why the scoreline is what it is. Basically, there could be some sort of communication issues happening, a lot of frustration, obviously, on the pitch, especially when you're losing 5-0. And like you said, the worst possible case scenario, the worst possible start here for the Raptors has just occurred on the pitch. You're losing 5-0. There's still 3 minutes left. I mean, regardless, you have to play these matches out.
Yeah, I have to agree with you right there. So hopefully things do get sorted on that Ripley side, and we'll see what happens there. We're going to wait for a ruling to come through, and we'll kind of play it through from there. But at the moment, Game 2 firmly in control of Kedron. You could argue that the series is fully in their control at this stage as well. And
Max, I
it
swear,
looks like it's going to be
right about this sweep. I'm going to cry.
It looks like it's going to be Game 2 possibly to Kedron right now. It looks like that's going to be the ruling from the referee unless something changes on the immediate future.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying as well. You can't just, up and leave the match out of sheer frustration, like I said. And on top of that, it just adds to, I guess, like you said, the overall kind of stuff that kind of happens on the pitch. I don't want to see any negativity right there for the Raptors, but it's definitely going to affect how they're going to play as a team, is what I'm trying to say. So we can foresee that sweep coming out in favor of Kedron now.
Yeah, so we will see where we go right now. Can Ripley pull off the reverse sweep? I'm thinking not very likely. Like, if they have the mental fortitude to come back from that one,
yeah,
they can go the distance. Like, you can sign up for RLCS, get them going, because choo-choo.
I mean, honestly, yeah, I agree with you, because I mean, you have to see the resistance, the resilience, I guess you can kind of say, for the Raptors. Get your head back in the game. This is just a video game. You can't get that mad over it. You have to bounce back in this situation, and the game is fully in your grasp now. We're gonna have a fresh 5 minutes at the clock and a fresh Game 3. I at least want to see the Raptors win this game. Overall, I think Kedron's gonna win it though.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, we could root for it. We could hope to see it. I just don't know how you bounce back from that Game 2. We'll see, though. Have been proven wrong before. Having to be proven wrong again. But off of this kickoff, things looking a lot better for the team in orange. Pass, dish. No! Open nest miss for Devi.
I told you those are not the easiest ones to score, so that's a good miss right there if you are a Raptors fan. And on top of that, like I said before, the Rocket League gods just blessing the Raptors just so much, kind of giving them this position so far. So hopefully they can capitalize on it. Inboard was a great shot. Levi with a good save though.
Yeah, good save on that goal line. And now pressure, 3 players forward. We're going to start to rotate back. Inboard actually beats 2 defenders. Try to muscle in past the third. Homeboy will touch it down, but won't be able to put it in accurately. Troby clears it back the other way.
Yeah, Troby with the demolition too. Homeboy Jesus had an open look that was covered up though by Dev, and Troby trying to put that one right back towards center. Nobody was going to be there to receive it though. Once again, Kedron playing a little bit more passive than I would like to see them in this situation. I want to see them, you take a couple of risks. You're already in the opponent's head at this point in time, and on top of that, you're winning 2-0. But what a good redirect! I was going to say an own goal though in favor of Invor.
Yeah, what a great redirect. Get Devi, boom, right in the middle of the net. Hey, you know what? There was an own goal the other way from Invor before. Now we're just equalizing the score, right? You gotta. If your opponents give you one, you give one back. It's only polite.
I think they're just trying to give them false hope. No, I'm just playing. No, that's a good opening goal though. Like, we've seen the Raptors be so successful. Good air dribble right there from Troby. Gonna be denied. That one's a floater. Could be the equalizer as well. Levi with the constant pressure. Here comes Troby now. Should have a gimme. There it is. And there's the equalizer. I forgot where I was going with my point there. Maybe you could pick it up though, Max.
You know what? I don't think it matters. Panic mechanic defense. It's 1-1. Not to say that what you said don't matter. I just don't know.
I think I was just trying to say that we've seen the Raptors before be so successful off the first goal that maybe this will, pretty much turn the tides for them. But, yeah, obviously that didn't live up to the hype.
Not this time, but there'll still be more chances. I mean, Hill Devils has a chance, gets bumped away. Shot from Def V was dangerous. Homeboy has to rotate back, but now Def V has Troby just outside the box, has Levi midfield. Ball can go to either of them. Levi goes first. As you see the rotations come through. Very clean from the team in orange. As Troby tries to pop it up for Def V. Now back over Troby. It's going to be a close angle, but it still squeaks in. That was disgusting.
Yeah, such a good touch right there. Def V with the pressure. Troby off the back wall. I told you before, these are such difficult shots to come up with because it's such a tight angle. And somehow, some way, Troby pushes Kendron up into the lead.
Now, with the 2-1 lead, 3 minutes to go. Pressure again on that Ripley side to try and bring this one back. Hill Devil stuck in an awkward position still. Makes the first touch, but then Troby faced him without even hitting the ball. Fair enough. That was a lot of slow play until Homeboy bashes it through.
Still approaching the halfway point in this matchup. Here comes Def V. Has an open net, so that's unfortunate right there. It's going to be in favor of Kendron. I was going to say the rotation back through was an interesting one. Homeboy Jesus was the last person back. I'm not even too sure where Invor or V-Hill Devils were trying to go. But at the same time, an easy open net, an easy gimme for Kendron. Now they go up by 2.
I just now noticed the R2-D2 scream goal noise after that one. I don't know how I didn't pick up on that before, but that might be my favorite, soundtrack to play after a goal. That might have just taken it. That's actually amazing.
That is actually pretty good. I'm a huge Star Wars fan as well, but I think I have the Tokyo Drift for my goal explosion. So, I mean, that one's pretty much up there with me as well.
Controversial opinion. The Tokyo Drift song, overrated. I'll say it.
What?
As Troby's going to put on the shot saved on the line. Yeah, I'll say it. I will.
Chat, I need you to flame this man. He is speaking blasphemy real quick. Please, everyone just say L take plus ratio,
Tokyo Drift
please.
is a boomer movie. It's old.
What? I'm just the song though is such a meme song. Like, what do you mean?
It is a big meme song. I'll give you that. It doesn't do anything for me. I'm sorry. All right, look. Better music out there. Invor tries to cross up. Not going to find that goal.
I thought I could let you live this down. Okay, it's the whole Taylor Swift thing over again, okay? Minute and 25 seconds left. Kendron pretty much in control of this one. Only up by 2, though. This one could be a flip of a script in favor of the Raptors at any given moment. Levi, though, up in the air. Invor with a pre-jump towards midfield. I really feel like, there's just a lot of driving around going on right now for the Raptors. I'm not too sure what's going on with them, but they definitely need to clear their mental and head into the next week a little bit fresher.
Yeah, I think they will. They'll have a week to kind of cool off, bounce back. You can kind of understand some of the frustration, when you get such a big emotional win after that Game 5 and then come back in the next series and you're just not playing as strong and your opponents, we're playing a very pressing and a very oppressive style and you can't really get any momentum going in your favor anymore. Like, I can feel where the frustration stems from. Obviously, there's a correct and incorrect way to behave when put in those places. But that's part of the learning when it comes to high school sport. It's learning how to deal with those difficulties, learning how to deal with those frustrations, and finding the correct and healthy way to deal with it. And I think that's something that, hopefully we'll see Ripley as a team as a whole be able to bounce back from. I think some of the members had the correct attitude. Others, something that will need to be discussed. And I hope to see that kind of growth from them moving forwards. Again, you don't write off a team because of one bad mistake like that. So we'll see where they go from here. But as it said, Kendron, they were the stronger team. A lot less mistakes, a lot, calmer mental and stronger showing. Kendron, they might be the best team in this league.
Yeah, and I was going to say it was a good showing right there from Kendron too, like the sportsmanship. They recognized that, the Raptors didn't kind of want to be there. So they were just kind of, not being as aggressive towards the tail end. Once they went up by the 2 goals, they started to really take a lot of the, I guess you can kind of say, pressure off of them. You can just tell the demeanor was not there for the Raptors, which is unfortunate because I was really looking forward to this matchup. Like we said beforehand, going into this one, Kendron was taking on the Kendron beat Toners, Raptors beat Linwood, so I was really looking to see who was going to be that dominant team.
Yes, so was I, but unfortunately for us, we're going to have to wait till these teams play again next time. And I think there might be a better, closer showing when they go at it. But for our last game, how we're talking about learning how to deal with the defeat, learning to find ways to bounce back? Well, maybe finding your first win of the season would be a good way to do it. Because our last match of the day, it's going to be the MRC Saints. Actually, wait. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong week. Sorry, it is going to be the MRC Saints taking on SPCC. Two teams looking for their first win. Whoops. When we return.
walking home, I've seen so many people go. Learn to make it on my own. It's easier for me to be alone. So how are you? Keep cutting through, claiming you're not like the other guys. And only if I could give you a chance, show me that you mean it, won't feel some type of way. Why do you keep chasing clouds? Wanna leave before I feel something. Before I go and change my mind. I said, why do you keep chasing clouds? Wanna leave before I feel something. Before I go and change my mind. Something must be wrong with me. Keep wanting just to see you show up at my door. Et même quand je suis froide, un peu indifférent, tu continues tout de même de montrer tes efforts. I'm trying to keep my heart in peace. I just can't think about the way that I feel. It's too hard to trust, I mess it up. I just can't risk to be falling like this. Oh, why do you keep chasing clouds? Before I go and change my mind. I said, why do you keep chasing clouds? Wanna leave before I feel something. Before I go and change my mind. I said, why do you keep chasing clouds? Wanna leave before I feel something. Before I go and change my mind. I said, why do you keep it? You make me wanna change my mind.
Baby, I just wanna be alone. I don't need your company, stop blowing up my phone. You don't get the things that I've been through, and I don't have the time to lay it all in front of you. And you think that you wanna save me. You don't know it, baby, why you do this? I got this under control. You think you do, but you really don't know that I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. No, I don't need a savior. You can't be my savior. I'll save myself. I'll save myself. I'll save myself.
I wish we stayed the same. I got way too many thoughts in my brain, but I got memories that run through my veins.
Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for sticking with us through that break. We appreciate you so very, very much. And to get you guys caught up just a tad bit, we had game number 1, Kendron versus Toners. Kendron winning that matchup 3-1. Ripley Raptors over Linwood in a 3-2 fashion. And then, of course, we have Kendron taking on the Raptors, who won that one 3-0. But Max, we find ourselves here now with SPCC Light and Tangy versus the MRC Saints.
Yep, Tasmania's one school taking on, well, the last Queensland side in what will be, I think, a very fun match, if nothing else, because both these teams looking for their first win on the season. Benchmark moment. They're incredibly equal, each 0-3 with 1 game win, so they each have the -8 game differential. And I'm not saying this to harp on their poor results, but rather to say how evenly matched they are on paper. So I'm actually expecting a good back-and-forth series.
Yeah, I expect it to be back and forth as well, but I think you're leaning a little bit more towards the, light and tangy side of the things because of the Queensland thing. Yeah, I was going to say that as well. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a heck of a matchup between these two teams. I had the privilege of watching them, kind of the last couple of weeks, with the league play and things of that nature. And they're not bad teams by any means. They're just taking on some really, really tough opponents, like, teams like Kendron, teams like Linwood, teams like, the Toners. It's just unfortunate to kind of, see the skill gap there and kind of be exploited by some of those teams as well.
Well, it's like, if you were to make the tier list, I think those top 4 teams would be the A tier. These 2 teams would be in B tier, but they're still in Division 1. And there are 3 divisions within this high school league. So you have to remember that as we get geared up to go into this one. I mean, and some strong players on that, SPC side. I'm looking at Uke as the player who stepped up. Shadow, a familiar name. But on the MRC Saints side, I have to admit, I'm a little less familiar with them. We only saw them once during the Mayhem event of this Tasmania side, so I'm curious to see what they're going to be able to bring as we are live and underway.
Yeah, this one is officially underway. Crypto, definitely that person to kind of watch as well. Love to see it. But at the same time, like I said before, this still could go either way. SPCC, Light and Tangy, still one of those teams where I feel like they have a lot to offer out here on the pitch. So I'm going to lean a little bit more towards them here, Max.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I'm kind of with them as well. I think we've seen higher highs from the Queensland side, but that's not to discredit this Tasmanian team. As we've discussed before, Tasmania, good Rocket League players come from Tasmania, the smallest state perhaps, but still, you never know who you're going to get. The next Hawk, the next CJ. We'll see as Ghosty tries to throw it down. Crypto doesn't have the read, but Supreme does. Sorry, Super 9, not Supreme. Did get the touch, and we're seeing the Tasmanian side put the pressure on until a bump kind of goes against them.
Yeah, the reason why I'm leaning a little bit more towards SPCC, though, is because of the fact that, Riza always has the pop-off potential to, kind of get something going there for SPCC. And on top of that, like you said, paired with Ook, who has just been, I'm not going to say the dominant force here on this squad, but, he has that pop-off potential as well. He scored a couple of goals against Kendron in that close matchup when they were facing Kendron in that Mayhem event that you were talking about. So, I mean, this team for SPCC, I believe, with the missed opportunity right there for Riza, just rattles the backboard. I believe that they have just a little bit of a leg up, but they have to capitalize on some of those plays. They can't afford to miss those ones like that one from Riza.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm going to be looking at is, as we see an unforced error from Luke as well, and the play off the backboard. No, it's not going to go in. Sidewall doesn't bear fruit, but what I'm looking at, again, is kind of the rotational play, more so than any unforced errors. I'm more concerned about positioning with these teams because I do want to get a gist on, like, how far behind are they from those top 4 realistically? Is it positional mistakes? Are they double committing too much? Or is it just, maybe the mechanics and one too many unforced errors at key moments? And right now, I think the positioning and the rotations actually have been pretty strong from both sides.
I'm going to agree with you on that one. I just don't like that touch right there from Shadow. It was a little bit awkward putting Ook in a difficult situation. This is a little bit of a floater covered up by Crypto, though. right in the nick of time. Here comes Ook. A little bit of boost and a dream. At 50-50, going to be in favor of SPCC. Super Knight in a predicament. Can he get the read? He does not, but nobody there for the follow-up touch. I want to see a little bit more aggression right there for SPCC.
There it is.
That one, the floater, is going to find its mark, though, and that's going to be courtesy of Shadow, who's going to find the first goal for SPCC.
So both teams a little bit sluggish on that, because you are right. When we're watching Ook slow the ball down in front of the net, usually that's really effective if you have teammates who are pressing forward at that moment as well, because it's so difficult to get a powerful touch when the ball is slowed down. But at that situation, both of SPCC's defenders were all the way back in their own back corner. But they got away with it, unfortunately, for the Saints, because their own defense was a little bit slow and kind of reacting to the play and being able to clear it out. So it actually allowed the time for SPCC to travel the distance of the pitch. And these are the little things that we're going to be, like, I feel looking for with these two sides to maybe try and figure out why they might be struggling against some of those top teams. And that's the first real egregious positional mistake we've seen. And, well, fortunately for SPCC, they didn't get punished.
Yeah, we've been giving so much credit to SPCC. We haven't been really giving credit over to the Saints side of the pitch. We have people like Crypto, people like Ghosty, and like you said, Super Knight on the pitch too. Have been single-handedly keeping them in this ball game, taking a lot of these opportunities away from SPCC. And I want to point out, you know, Ghosty already, or I'm sorry, Crypto already has himself 3 saves. Ghosty only with the 1 save, but at the same time, you have to pair that with a couple of the opportunities that they had in the offensive end. It's been few and far between, but still, they have, I was going to say, they have yet to kind of establish themselves on the offensive end just yet.
Oh, well, that could have been it. And unfortunately, Crypto's shot not quite going to hit his mark. Ghosty as well, too slow on it. And that was the 3rd member. So now Crypto has to race back. You should be able to punish as they get underneath and all running into each other. Crypto's able to bash his way through and make what should have been a person open net goal.
That's so unfortunate once again. Here comes Ook, though, with a great read. Going to be the 2nd goal here. This shows off some of the mechanics that they have to offer. Ook just pre-jumping that one. Nobody home as well on the rotation back through. So unfortunate right there for the Saints being down 0-2. But at the same time, I mean, these are not easy goals here, Max.
No, they haven't been easy goals. Second one was just taking advantage of a situation where the MRC Saints, I think, were pulling that 3rd member forward a little bit early. But that time, that shot's got to go in. Gets a little help from Rissa Plays as well to make sure, because it deserved to be a goal. Whoops, it deserved it.
Yeah, this is a good pass right there from Crypto. Ghosty finding himself right in that situation where you know, the ball comes right off of the corner. It's right in the right place at the right time. Only down by 1 now. 33 seconds left. This is definitely doable, especially if we see one of these patented kickoff goals that I love so much.
Ghosty going up high, has Crypto underneath, and no, can't get it past the defense. Still opportunities aplenty, one would have to think. Ghost, though, going for the express back, and that's going to maybe kill some of the offensive pressure, especially with that touch going well awry. 10 seconds remaining, and MRC Saints, they got to go the entire pitch.
Still have a chance, though. 5 seconds remaining. Ghosty up in, I was going to say up in the air, but no, he did not go up. All zeros on the clock now. Ook trying to kill this one towards midfield. Super not going to get a part of that one. And I was going to say Rizza almost, you know, just playing with some fire right there. Kept that one up at the 0-second mark. Was not needed, but at the same time, it does work out in their favor. SPCC win this first game 2-1.
Yeah, I love that. Whiff to give your opponents a chance, and then on 0 seconds, pass it back, because that's a way to approach. But now, SPCC, they do get away with that Game 1 victory. I like the Saints' defense for the most part. I think it was when they overextended themselves they found punished. So if they can stay a little bit more patient for their own attacking opportunities, they can find ways back into this series. So it is not doom and gloom for the orange side at all just yet.
Yeah, not to mention the Saints had a lot of missed opportunities in that game number 1. Like, we could think back to at least a couple of chances that they had, and they were forced into their half for a majority of that game. So it's just unfortunate for them. So we have to see them step up just a tad bit and bring the ball over, show off some of the mechanics. Okay, Crypto, pop off. But I was going to say, Shadow kept that one out. And that's the stuff that we haven't get to see yet from the Saints. SPCC has pretty much just kept them tame for the most part.
That it has, as we're going to see, you know, more pressure from Shadow coming through at the moment, looking for those opportunities. Swing and a miss from Goatee. Super Nye gets the ball to the backboard. Shadow's going to be there trying to find RZA forward. Gets that touch in. Now Shadow has to get past the goal line defense, unable to really commit to that play.
Crypto has to get this one out of their corner. They have plenty of space, but they just get this one over to Ook, who pops that one off the back wall. It was Ghosty and Crypto who were both there for the Saints. I'm surprised that nobody got that far clear. We do see some of that pressure is relieved, though, as this one kind of floats over and lingers into the corner. Ook should have a really decent, I was going to say, chance at that one. Super 9, though, getting them 50-50. RZA can't really get the contact he needed. Maybe faked out the defender just enough so he can stall that offensive attack so far for the Saints. And once again, nothing really productive for the Saints on the offensive end just yet. So unfortunate for them as that one kind of comes to a stagnant end for them.
We'll see, though. I mean, they'll get another chance here, but Super 9 may have pushed too far forward, and there's the beat over the top. Ook, though, will be able to get it past Ghosty. RZA's challenge doesn't quite go in the way of the Saints, actually. Good job by Light and Tangy to get there first as they continue to try to keep the pressure. Eventually, Ghosty will be able to muscle it back to the other side. Ball slowly rolls more towards the middle of the field. Crypto centers it, but Ook is there, clearing it back once again, and RZA's racing Ghosty, but each of them race too far forward. Awkward touches, and sort of the back and forth play continues.
This is the open net, though, from Crypto. Has the double touch off the backboard. I was going to say RZA maybe had a chance at this one, but this one was completely read by Crypto the whole entire time, all the way through, just taking a lot off of his momentum as he rotates back in.
Punishing that double commit. It's well done, how it's supposed to be done, and with 3 minutes remaining on the clock, we'll see what Shadow can do out of the corner. Gonna go ahead and start to dribble it. Go towards that middle of the field. 250 on the setup right now. Saints send 2 to the corner. Crypto waiting just outside. Doesn't get the dunk over the top.
Yeah, that was a double commit right there as well for SPCC. And on top of that, RZA had like no boost to go for that challenge, and he still went up for it. I believe that was Ook who was getting tangled up with them as well. So unfortunate right there for SPCC that they didn't get that far clear that they needed. And then on top of that, that was a short-lived offensive segment right there for them. Another shot coming through. Ghosty going to be saved away by Shadow, though, as this one approaches midfield, and they desperately need to get something going here. There goes RZA. Ghosty pops it right back, pays with it with his life. Ook with the good wraparound pass, going to be denied, though, by Crypto.
We're going to see what Shadow does. Shut down by Super Knight. Ook just going to get that little second touch. Now we're going to see RZA towards the backboard. Able to get too much there. I mean, here's the thing. Again, I'm going to go back to the point. I like the Saints' defensive rotations. I think they're strong. If they get, solid first defensive touches, they should be able to flip the map a little bit easier, but they're very good at just shutting down these shots before they happen.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. A lot of these passing lanes are just getting shut out. Like you see that one right there from Ook. Could have been easily read off the backboard, and, somebody from the Saints could have read that one as well. But for the most part, they're playing outside the box as well. You're starting to see a lot of the defenders start to kind of get sucked up and start to try to get put the pressure onto the Saints offense. And SPCC is doing a good job at doing that, but at the same time, it just hasn't really been any threatening shots for them to take advantage of.
No, not yet, as time continues down. Minute 6 to go. Ghosty gets that touch forward. RZA now starting to rotate back. Crypto actually gets a nice little dunk, and Ghosty's there, but Crypto cuts him off, and it winds up coming off the top crossbar and not out.
Yeah, Ook didn't really have the best read at that one either, so that was just an unfortunate situation. Crypto fought with the top crossbar, did not work out in his favor. Now there's only 45 seconds left. They're trying, and they've been doing a good job so far of keeping the pressure onto the backs of SPCC. And for the most part, SPCC has just been throwing the ball away for the majority of this ball game. RZA now in the corner. Nice little wraparound pass. Not going to find his mark. Ghosty with a good far clear. That one should pretty much relieve a lot of that pressure that was being mounted by SPCC.
Yeah, and with that pressure being alleviated, it's looking more and more like the Saints are going to be able to equalize this series out. 15 seconds remaining. One last chance for SPCC to get one on the board. Ook wanted the reset. Doesn't get the touch, but still an opening for RZA plays. Only one defender's there. Shadow's there too. They put it in with 7 seconds to spare.
What a play right here for SPCC to tie this one up with late seconds. Everybody getting involved on this play. On top of that, the first initial air dribble to dribble that one out by Ook really set that play up, forced everybody back onto that goal line. And on top of that, the dunk coming through. So this one could be. Oh my! I thought that Super Dive
It's in!
hit it, but the dunk from Rizza. Oh my goodness! The 2-goal swing goes in favor of SPCC.
Oh, 7-second equalizer, 1 second lead taker. Rizzo with the dunk, and you know what? That is a kickoff goal to get even me excited there. Whoops, huge turnaround for the team in blue. Saints have one last chance. They're not going to find it. Match point to SPCC.
That was such a ridiculous turn of events. It's such a ridiculous swing as well. SPCC get the job done late. Don't ever count these guys out is all I'm going to say here, Max. That was absolutely ridiculous.
That's heartbreaking at the same time, though. MRC was the better team, I'd say, for 4 minutes and 40 seconds of that match. Like, that was just so quick, so sudden, and light and tangy. They've got to be feeling so good about their chances right now. They've got a 2-game cushion. Loading back in the Saints, they need to reverse sweep if they want their first series victory after letting that one slip through. I don't know how you bounce back.
And on top of that, you have to be so deflated at this point in time too if you're the Saints, because you like you said, you controlled the game for the a majority, like the 4 minutes of this ball game. You controlled it, and then on top of that, you just concede 2 just late goals that just decide this whole entire series. It was absolutely crazy and unfortunate too.
As Uke doesn't really get the angle that they wanted, so no opening goal just yet, but you can see all 3 defenders, they're hesitating. They're playing back. Eventually, one does go forward, but straight into Shadow, swinging a miss from Ghosty as well. And, well, I mean, it wasn't the clearness punish either back from the SBC side. In fact, they're clumped together in the corner. This is awkward. Crypto doesn't get the dunk on target.
There's tons and tons of missed opportunities out here. It's just crazy to watch.
No. What is happening?
They're forcing the ball. I was going to say they're forcing the ball over into the corner, which is a good thing for SPCC, but at the same time, like, how long can they sustain this? I don't know, but obviously they sustained it for just enough time for the Saints to kind of back off and try to reset things on the offensive end.
Yeah, that was sloppy from both sides, I dare say. A lot of whiffs, a lot of misses, all right, there you go. Crypto bails out what could have been another awkward situation. It feels like every series today has had just one game where no one is playing their best. There you go. Counterattack goal. Shadow makes it 1-0.
That was so harsh. No one's playing their best. But, I mean, look at the breakaway, though. I do love to see it from Shadow. Everybody pretty much being committed to that offensive segments for SPCC, which is something you rarely see. Usually, you start to see a lot of these teams kind of back off and not be as aggressive, and I love to see that one from SPCC, especially being up 2-0 in the series already. That's got to be a huge hit mentally for the Saints, or towards the Saints, I should say. Yeah,
I mean, this is still within striking distance, though, although if they concede another goal, it is a very difficult strike to hit. 3 minutes, 8 seconds on the clock. Here comes Shadow. And it'll get past Ghosty as they'll start to rotate back towards that midfield. But realistically, the earnest is on the Saints in terms of picking their moment for when they're going to be looking to strike. And it's difficult when every single one of their defensive touches right now is being challenged.
Yeah, on top of that, you're getting forced back as well into your half. And you know, the Saint, I mean, for the most part, SPCC really haven't done a good job at doing that for the majority of this game, and for some reason they just have been activated. A little bit of a double commitment right there from Super 9 and from Crypto. Nothing really kind of happening right here. Shadow at midfield, no boost to work with. Can't really advance that ball over towards the orange half of the field, so it might be a chance here, and there it is. Ghosty gonna score, tie this ball game right back up.
Ghostly over the top, and that was a well-timed play. I mean, they had to pull the trigger then, right? There's been so few opportunities for the MRC Saints to get these chances. The triple commit on the defensive line does not matter. Tie ball game halfway through game 3.
2 minutes, 20 seconds. Ghosty and company doing a pretty good job at establishing this pressure right back towards the blue half of the field, especially being down by that 1 goal. And like we said, they talked about it. Shadow with a good shot. We talked about how well the Saints have been playing in the last game. They controlled the majority of that game and just conceded those 2 late goals in the final 30 seconds of that last matchup. This is a good far shot from Ghosty. A nice open net look. That's going to be his 2nd goal. And 2 unanswered goals in favor of the Saints.
Yeah, it looks like, I believe that was Rizza just thought they had more time than what they actually had to rotate for that boost, but a midfield challenge going awry does give MRC Saints that lead once again. 1:51 to go. I mean, game 2 is still going to be fresh on everyone's mind right now. They know they have to play solid defense until the very end of this one or find that 2nd cushion goal. That's a good setup. Crypto is there, but the ball goes too low. Crypto goes too high, and it rolls to the safety of the corner.
Here comes Ghosty now, going to have his 3rd goal. That's going to be the hat trick, and also keeping the Saints alive here in this series. There's still a lot of time left on this clock, though, so anything can kind of happen in 1 minute and 32 seconds. But still, you love to see the aggression right here for the Saints, not giving up, still trying to fight for their lives here and get this first win of the season.
The simplest backboard reads are often the toughest, as you just learned on that one. I mean, good heads-up play from Ghosty, who's going to do it again. Whoops! This time, though, Ook is able to rotate back and make that save. But yeah, Ghosty is just a little ball hunter right now. Every time there's an opening, Ghosty is there trying to find and force that shot, and working out very well for the MRC Saints side.
That was so unfortunate right there from Rizza, who had that clear read off the backboard. I wanted to see him get a little bit vertical and try to challenge that one. Instead, he elected to go on the ground level. It just did not work out in his favor. But regardless, final 60 seconds left of the clock. Up by 2 right here is the Saints. Or are the Saints, my apologies. I can't English sometimes. I mean, it really is, to be honest with you. But at the same time, you have to think about the time difference for me as well. So brain was shut off temporarily.
That's okay. We'll have time to reboot it in game number 4 because that is where we are headed right now. Super Nye trying to get something going. Shadow will look for the clear back the other way. And I know we can't count this blue side out. It was 2 goals within 7 seconds to take game 2. However, it doesn't look like this one is going to be going their way as well. They're going to need something right here, at least a clearing touch. Instead, it goes the other way. Rizza has to bang it, but then there's no real follow-up. Rizza swings and misses. I think we're going to game 4. Whoops. Finally, MRC Saints get themselves on the board.
Yeah, finally, it's all courtesy of one man who has pretty much single-handedly taken over the game. That man right there, Ghosty, who kills that one right in front of the blue box. And staying alive, like we said beforehand, is the Saints, who basically were forced on that match point. So looking at potential, should we say it, Max? Is it too early to kind of say it? That one famous kind of line that a lot of people like to say.
Early. I'm going to say it's too early.
That's what I think too. We're not going to say. I don't want to curse him just yet either. But at the same time, like I said, MRC Saints did such a good job at applying so much pressure and just playing some solid defense as well. SPC's Light and Tangy just didn't really get things kick-started here in game number 3. They just took too long to get things going, and on top of that, they didn't really have viable shots towards net that was respected enough by the Saints.
I mean, yeah, neither team really had a lot of shots, though, in that game. Like, it was 3 shots to 4 favoring the Saints. Ghosty, all 4 of the shots for that team in orange as well. Most of them kind of came from that midfield line. The ball was getting jammed up in the corner so frequently on both sides.
Yeah.
I'm going to be curious to see how they kind of adjust to avoid that in the future if they're able to. This looks very promising, though, for the team in blue. Shadow takes goal number 1.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Ghosty was thinking here. I mean, I think he's trying to solely rely on his mechanics, but just did not work out in their favor. Basically picked up that 100 boost pad in the corner, tried to hit that flip to push that one past the net in the air, and just missing contact led to that goal there in favor of SPCC. And that's not how you want to start here for the Saints.
No, that's a very concerning start for sure for the team in orange. They're going to look to try and follow it up, though, with a goal themselves. Ghosty denied on the line by Rizza. Second chance, though, for Super Nye. Can they get the dunk? Yes, it's high, but the follow-up from Ghosty is there, and that's going to go in. Tie ball game still in our first 30 seconds.
Yeah, definitely made up for that one on the offensive end right here is Ghosty, putting them right back to pretty much 0-0. A lot of people like to say breadsticks, mozzarella sticks, whatever it may be. Either way, I'm kind of hungry here, Max. So I mean, no, but
yeah, I know, making me hungry right now. I haven't had like American pizza joint style breadsticks in so long. Like, oh, those would be so good right now.
I'm telling you right now, you come over to Chicago, I'll hook you up. We'll go out for some nice pizza, maybe some deep dish if you want to, if you're down for that.
I've never had a proper Chicago deep dish pizza. And like I've only been to Chicago once, and it's a shame I didn't do it, but I was in the middle of like my vegetarian phase. And so, like, you can't get a vegetarian deep dish pizza and have it be good. So, if I ever head back, I'm going to give it a second crack. That is for sure.
I promise you, some nice pepperoni and sausage on that. It's going to change your life, bro. Or, and when I come to Australia, okay, because I'm gonna make this trip happen. You gotta treat me to Indomie, okay? You got
Indomie, yeah, some Indomie, yeah, sure.
I told you, bro. I told you it was gonna happen.
Yeah, that's cool. And you're clearly coming to Queensland too, because that's both where Gex and I are. So like, it all makes sense. And super nice shots gonna be saved on the line.
Yeah, it's a good game so far. I mean, both teams is pretty much battling back and forth, trying to establish some sort of positioning. And for the most part, no team has really been able to establish that. You know, it's been a battle of, like we like to call it, ping pong, where everything just kind of goes back and forth until somebody kind of just gives up one goal. But for the most part, both of these teams have been, you know, playing some phenomenal defense, and it's been that quote-unquote boring part of Rocket League.
Nah, I love games like this. You want the touches to matter. You want the goals to matter. And when you get to the back and forth, it's usually decided when one team gets impatient and presses forward. They either make the goal or they make the mistake that allows the counterattack the other way. And it does seem as if the Saints have been the more aggressive side when we start getting into that ping-pong style play. As you can see, they've moved 2 players forward right now. Crypto a little too far forward. It's going to have to race back, but hesitation from SPCC to immediately shorten the field. They're going to try to set up from the middle of the pitch instead. Shadow back over to Uke. Nope, Uke rather rotate back.
Yeah, on top of that, I was going to say shambles was the offense right there for SPCC, because a lot of their members did not have enough boost to kind of rotate back through for offense. So they're throwing everything at the, for defense. So they're throwing everything at the offensive end of the field right now, and that's the situation that they're kind of in. You see Shadow has 0 boost to work with, and then you have Rizza plays, and on top of that, Uke who are rotating back through, trying to, you know, keep this pressure on to the Saints side of the field. For the most part, it has been working out for them, but at the same time, it really hasn't been, like I said, relevant touches that the Saints had to respect.
Now, it's been a lot of feeling out, a lot of waiting for that big unforced error, and I think that's where we're going to see a team strike. However, with the Saints being more willing to pull the trigger, it's going to happen on the blue side of the pitch one way or the other. I don't expect it to happen on the orange side right now unless something really egregious happens, like we almost saw right there, like we still are almost seeing right there. Okay, I'm getting a little nervous for the Saints now. Whoops, those were dangerous touches.
I mean, for the most part, SBC's Light and Tangy has controlled the second half of this ball game. They just really haven't, like I said, put more shots towards net. It's been the Saints who've been taking away a lot of these passing lanes. It's been the Saints who have been just surviving pretty much the most part of this ball game, and they just haven't had a chance to break away yet.
Double commit, but again, hesitation from SBCC to really try and challenge pushing it forward, and Crypto has always done a good job at parking himself in the most awkward positions for a lot of these clears to happen. In fact, Crypto now is going to be the one who gets it towards the backboard. Ghosty passes it back to no one, and once again, we're jammed up in this corner. No one really able to get a straightening touch, although Ghosty will have a chance here. Uke misses, that sets up Crypto, shot is in! And with 54 seconds left, the Saints, precipice of taking us to Champions Field.
Oh my goodness, I don't want it. No, not like this. Not like that, with the rotation is just so close. It's just unfortunate right there that they find the slightest gap and shoot that one over to the left side of it. And just like you said, the minutest detail where the rotation just was not clean enough right there for SPCC. It plays a major factor into that goal.
And it was going to come, as I said, from the Saints' pressure. It was either going to be their victory or their downfall. And in that situation, it got to Light and Tangy. But with 35 seconds left, again, Game 2. And we're going to keep going back to Game 2 until this series is done, I feel like. Crypto, a bit of a swing and a miss right now. It's going to try to actually do it themselves. To the backboard we go. All 3 defenders commit. Ghosty's underneath, but misses the ball. Follow up from Super 9, too little, too late.
That's so unfortunate once again. Could have put this ball game away. But instead, we find ourselves with the final 10 seconds and another chance right here for the Saints to put some pressure onto it. SPCC Light and Tangy trying to close this one out. Oh no! Backwards hit by Shadow. Not gonna be the touch that they wanted to, obviously. But instead, we're gonna head to game number 5. MRC Saints tie up this series 2-2 here, Max.
The Tasmanians have done it. They've brought us back to a Game 5, a chance for the reverse sweep as well. MRC Saints, I mean, they've got the momentum back in their favor. They won what was almost felt more like a chess match than it came a Rocket League at some points in that one, but they won it when they were able to put that pressure on, when they were willing to really shorten up that pitch, and if they continue to do so and force some of those awkward unforced errors from SPCC, they have a very real chance of completing this reverse sweep.
Well, on top of that, Max, this all rides on this matchup right here for you, and this would be the perfect sweep here on the stream for Queensland, like you said beforehand. So, of course, you want this one to be, you know, in favor of SPCC Light and Tangy, but we're going to see if that happens or not. The Saints have been definitely warming up. Ghosty has been popping off. You know, we have to talk about that because Ghosty, you know, pretty much took over the games. That's pretty much game number 3 and just put the team on his back for the most part. And it's been a sight to see. He's been showing off some of the mechanics here. And one thing I want to ask you is that you were talking about how you want to see how different these two teams were in comparison to the rest of the pack. What has been that observation, I guess I could kind of say?
Unforced errors, I think, has been a big thing on both sides at some key moments. Like, when things get chaotic, it tends to stay chaotic as opposed to, like, one player quickly finding, you know, the more calming touch. A lot of the defensive touches as well, I feel like, haven't really been with too much thought behind it. Like, sometimes they've been in good places, but sometimes it's just hit the ball just to play defense, which has kind of led to extended defensive holds or positions as opposed to being able to flip the map. But outside of those two things, realistically, that's kind of it. So it's been a very small gap, I feel like, from these teams to the top teams. But the unforced errors actually a surprising large reason for me why I feel like these teams may have been struggling against the higher echelon.
Yeah, I can see that too. I can see that, you know, some teams, I guess we can kind of say, like, you know, the Toners, for example. I think the only thing we can kind of look back and think about when I think you were actually here on that stream with me, though, Max. I think it was that the qualifiers as well, thinking back to, where things kind of got out of control. I think it was that first game where SPCC Light and Tangy was taking on Kendron, and like Kendron was like 12-1 at one point in time, and we were thinking back that far. But other than that, it was a closer series between Kendron and SPCC, where it was, you know, only a couple goal differential where that separated that win in favor of Kendron. But with that being said, I really feel like, you know, it's SPCC's game to lose here, especially against a very, very hot team like the Saints.
It is going to be an interesting one for sure. I mean, both these teams can wind up dropping in here. Crypto going for the big solo play to kick us off, isn't really able to get into that backboard. But I would agree with you on that right now, as it looks like, unfortunately, another little bit of a tech pause right now. Super Nye rightly claiming their ping is at an unplayable level, and when I take a look at it, yeah, it's pretty high. It's not where you want it to be.
You said this is standard here for OCE play? Like, a lot of players like struggle with this ping issues over here?
I mean, right now it seems like, you know, you're trying to play on an OCE server, that level ping. So, again, we're getting another lobby remake, so hopefully this won't take too long before we do get going for a final match.
Yeah, I mean, let's just stall here, Max. While we're stalling, why don't we do a quick little read of some sort of ad?
Well, I was just going to quickly take a look at what happened with our other game off stream. Linwood, should be worth noting, did beat SBCC off stream as well. So we had the Toners beat the Saints off stream today, and Linwood beat SBCC. But yes, sponsors, of course. Why not? Let's thank our wonderful sponsors.
Yeah, our wonderful sponsors like Predator Gaming, the gaming PC partner who provides high-end gaming-focused PC solutions in both laptop and desktop formats. Of course, they're powered by Intel, and you want to pair that with a great monitor. We'll look no further. AOC Monitors, the gaming monitor partner who provide the best in-class monitor solutions for gaming and all your other needs.
And of course, Indomie, the noodle partner, made with high-quality flour and selected ingredients and spices. A plate of Indomie mee goreng will certainly brighten up your day. Try any one of the flavors available from your local grocer or at indomie.com. .au, and if you have a kettle, well, you can probably make one in the 5 minutes that this final game happens. Not that I want you to leave. Do please stay. And Game on Cancer as well, the charity of choice for the AEL, who fund much-needed cancer research projects, with the AEL donating a portion of all student participation fees to these life-saving causes. If you'd like to donate as well, please head to AEL's Tiltify campaign page, Scan the QR code below my name, or you can get more information. Hopefully this next lobby is good, Whoops, because I want to finish with the banger.
Yeah, I want to get some food. That's what I want to do. Every time we do these ad reads, I always just get so hungry. Like I said before, it's just so good. But yeah, thanks you once again to our sponsors. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much to the chat for being here as well. Dealing with some of these technical issues as well. You know, like you said beforehand, it's just OCE problems. People trying to connect to the server and things of that nature. So it's not something that we can kind of control. It's just one of those things that kind of happen. So thank you guys very much for being patient with us. So with that being said, hopping back into this matchup, I want to remind everybody this is Champions Field. This is game number 5. SPCC Light and Tangy were in a 2-0 lead, and then all of a sudden MRC Saints start to get hot. People like Ghosty, who started popping off, had himself a 3-goal game there in game number 3, and then on top of that, forcing this game number 5 are the Saints. So right now, in my personal opinion, this momentum swing where the Saints were just getting so hot, now it's starting to get a little bit more timid. I feel like SPCC kind of have a little bit more of an advantage going to their side, but I still feel like this is anybody's game. It's still a coin flip in my personal opinion, Max.
Yeah, I would agree with you. SPCC has looked like the stronger team. I've liked their style a little bit more until the final 2 minutes of that game 4 when the MRC started to really shorten the field and they were the ones who were able to put the pressure back. Granted, when SPCC is on the attack and they're the ones challenging every first defensive touch, when they're the one applying the pressure, I think they're better at it. I think the rotations are a little bit faster and they do a better job at getting the Saints uncomfortable. However, if SPCC again falls back to that ping pong style where they're not willing to press forward, where they're not willing to take those risks, it is going to give the Saints those opportunities. And that was the look we saw when the pressure was on them at the end of game 4. So as we head to Champions Field, I don't really know which SPCC we're going to see.
Yeah, and like we said beforehand, we saw SPCC score first, and like I could think back to thinking, hey, I like the pressure being applied by SPCC, especially being on match point, so on and so forth. So I mean, it just doesn't matter who scores that first goal. Basically, it really just is kind of like I said before, just that coin flip of a matchup that it could be swayed, you know, either way. Basically, you know, the equalizer comes just so fast for the Saints, and then on top of that, they score a secondary goal on top of that to force SPCC back. So I really feel like whoever's going to win this ball game has to go up by at least 2 goals before it can be decided.
Yeah, I have to agree with you with that. If we have a 1-goal game, it's going to feel very achievable for the team that's behind until the very end. And it looks like, was that the issue? Something about a Google Drive uploading? Huh. Well, there we go. You know, some of the joys of playing at home. Anyways. Get off the internet, Dad. I got Rocket League to play. It's game 5. It's the decider. We're reverse sweeping. Here we go, though. We're getting ready to kick off game number 5.
While you're there, tell Mom to get the camera, too.
yeah, get ready. It's going to be a big... You have to win, right? If you're kicking Dad off the internet, you have to win now.
Yeah.
Like, that's
He's to come in later on and be like, are you winning, son?
Yeah, we're going to get that. That's going to happen. And you want to say yes. You want to be there. Let's see if the Saints can pull it off. Let's see if Light and Tangy can stave off that reverse sweep and have a perfect day for Queensland. Here we go. The winner of this match wins their first series of the event. And we are underway. Uke with the first dangerous touch, and it's going to be saved on the line by Ghosty.
That was so reminiscent to the start of that last game. It was so scary if you're the Saints, because you remember thinking back, Ghosty had that awkward touch or awkward read off the back wall, just set up SPCC pretty much for the most part in that matchup. And it's just unfortunate as Ghosty, the person we were talking about just this whole entire time, starts this one off first for the Saints.
Ghosty kind of had a quiet game 4, but you have to remember game 3, Hat Trick was the one applying the pressure, was the one forcing the goals, and is able to do so again 22 seconds in to game number 5, and it will be an MRC Saints lead.
Like we said before, though, that's only the first goal, but it's in favor of the Saints, so it's a huge first goal.
Oof.
Some good defense right there from Crypto as well, who reads that one off the backboard. Here comes Ghosty. Can't quite get his Octane right back down to the ground, so it'll be a miss clear. That's a good cover up right there from Super Nye. Crypto, I thought, had the read on that one. Here comes Ook. Going to read that one off the backboard. That was going to hit off of the ceiling right back in towards Rizza.
Yeah, so we're going to quickly go to a little bit of a radio broadcast. Apologies for that, but As the ball coming back up the other way, Crypto underneath, looking for a touch off of Ghosty's backboard. It was open, but Crypto backed off, and that gives the defense time to recover. They're unable to do so. Crypto does get the goal.
Yeah, that's super unfortunate right there. I know you guys can't see what's going on, but basically everybody on the ground level right there for my apologies. I couldn't think for some reason. Yeah, SPCC. I couldn't think. So for SPCC, everybody was on the ground level, and the Saints just pretty much had the goal just dead to right. Anything over waist level was just scoreable for the Saints.
As we should be getting our vision back now onto the pitch. Again, apologies for that time. We did miss the goal, but look, I think it's when the SPCC is kind of happy we missed triple committing like that. You know, they're probably a bit relieved for it. I'm sure Crypto's going to be a little annoyed, because especially after, you know, Mom had to go and get that camera. Still, now pressure coming back the other way. It's going to go in. No, it's not off the post and out. What a save by Shadow.
That was such a close goal. You guys didn't get to see it, but, I mean, what a save that was indeed. Keeping SPCC in this ball game. For the most part, I would feel like if they're keeping them in this ball game. I mean, they're down by 2, but still, there's a lot of time left, and they need to get the ball rolling here. They haven't really had too many chances on the offensive end. For the most part, it's been the Saints who have been controlling the pace of play and been controlling the pressure that has been applied as well.
As we're seeing a big bump on the Ghostly to maybe create some space. Space has been something that sometimes in this game there's been too much of. Other times we've seen a good job applying pressure and not giving any. Right now going to be one of those times, as again Super 9, first one to challenge Ghosty, wanted to as well. Good defensive touch, clears it back the other way. Crypto in a 2v1 gets a nice dunk on Rizza to save what could have been an awkward situation. You said 2 goals would be the difference. Whoops, we're halfway through game 5 and it's 2 goals in favor of the Saints.
Yeah, for the most part, like I said, I really feel like the 2-goal mark is that good threshold. And right now SPCC have been struggling to find themselves into the back of the net, and they've been struggling to find themselves with just a clear in general. Crypto going to fire a shot. That one's going to hit off the top crossbar and find its way into the net as well. Saints now leading 3-0.
Yeah, and the Saints pulling further and further ahead. This is looking so good for this team in orange right now. I think they should be able to pull this one off from this position. I mean, they've been able to control. They've been the more aggressive team. They've been the ones willing to challenge. They're making less mistakes in terms of the unforced errors, and then you get an awkward back pass like that, but they should be able to recover. Ghosty actually lost control of the car on the rotation around, but fortunately Crypto did enough on the opposite end of the corner to stop what would have been a open net goal.
I was going to say, I agree with you on that one, though. Like, the assessment that you just had, basically they have been the more aggressive team and have been putting themselves in better positions than what SPCC have. I feel like they've been playing too passive in comparison to the two. But at the same time, they really haven't had a chance to even get anything established or anything going. SPCC has been backed up into their half for, I would say, probably 4+ minutes at this point in time.
Yeah, it's been so difficult for SPCC realistically to get any offensive pressure going, but the reason why they've been backed up in their half has because of the pressure, like how every touch has been challenged or read, and then even when they do get unchallenged touches, they kind of get in their own way, as we see right there. A minute remaining, 3 goals required. We're going to have to see something miraculous from the team in blue, but with Demos in the middle of the pitch, Ghosty's allowed free push and a free goal, especially off of the top of Rizza. Either way, 4-0 lead for the MRC Saints.
Yeah, this was just unfortunate right here. SPCC was in shambles. Rizza, that was the only chance they had to save that one away. He just went too vertical, hit that one down into the net with that solid redirect, but it was into his own net. But you think back to what happened in that play. Basically, you had Ook who got demoed on the back end, and then I think it was actually Rizzo who got demoed on the back end, and Shadow had no boost trying to rotate back through.
Commit right there from all 3 blue cars, but hey, you might as well go for it, but it's still going to be denied. Crypto with that save. 40 seconds, 4 goals. I'm calling it whoops. It's going to be the reverse sweep. It's going to be the Saints taking this win. And what an effort from the squad as well, with Game 2 ending how it did. To have the mental fortitude to bounce back. Like, this is what you want to see from teams, especially at the bottom of the ladder. Granted, Ook's still going to put one through, still going to find their chance, and who knows? You like your kickoff goals, right?
Yeah, 100% like my kickoff goals. I'm not sure if one's going to happen here. I don't think one's going to happen here.
Surely not. Surely not. All you have to do is just play defense right now. I mean, the Saints could keep 3 back
Huh?
No.
Ah!
Oh no!
Ah!
Well, that's what!
I caster cursed him into a kickoff goal. I love to see it.
Yeah, but that's one. I mean, they surely can't get 2 more, right? That would be ridiculous.
No. Can they? Can they get 2
Probably
more?
Not. Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. See what happens. Second kickoff. And this time, Crypto just parked in the net and did not move until they knew it was open. Oog's touch is going to be high, and I think that should be enough now to win this series.
Listen, Max, I'm a firm believer that they're listening in chat at this point in time, okay? There's no other way. They knew our strategy going into this one. 2 seconds left on the clock, though. So far in favor of the Saints. Of course, that was going to hit the ground. The Saints pull it off. The reverse sweep is in full effect. Absolutely ridiculous performance right there from the Saints. Like I said, I thought SPCC for some reason was going to win that matchup. And they, in my personal opinion, should have won that matchup. They let that one just slip away through their fingertips, Max.
Yeah, I mean, they changed their play style. They stopped being the aggressive team. They started being a bit more passive. They weren't as willing to challenge those first touches coming from the Tasmanian side. And, you know, credit to the Saints. They jumped all over it. They were like, all right, we'll be the proactive team then. And they looked comfortable in that position, a lot more comfortable than when they were the ones playing on the defensive half. So well done to the Saints. Beautiful reverse sweep in order to get their first series victory of the event. And I kind of want to see more of them against, you know, more of the top teams as well, and see if they can clean up their unforced errors a little bit, how competitive they can be with the top of the ladder.
I agree with you on that one. I want to see them clean up their gameplay as well. I want to see people like Ghosty, who's in the chat. I told you they're listening. Ghosty, keep on popping off, you know, showing off those mechanics as well. And, you know, you bring up your teammates too, you know, bring up your teammates and bring them up to your skill level. Hopefully you guys can keep on building on this success over here. But Max, that's going to call it here for us. Let's take a look real quick at the matchup, or the day that we had today. Pretty much Kendron winning over the Toners in a 3-1 fashion. The Ripley Raptors winning over Linwood in a 3-2 fashion. Kendron 3-0 over the Raptors. And then, of course, you guys just witnessed that beautiful reverse sweep that the Saints had over SPCC. Let's hop over real quick to the standings. I want to see if these are going to be the updated standings currently right now. They should be updated for us. The Toners 3-1 in first place. Kendron second place right there in a 3-1 fashion as well, which in my personal opinion, I feel like Kendron should be in that first place spot because they beat the Toners, but that's neither here nor there.
I don't think. I mean, look, we have plenty of games left. You can pretty much put them at equal first right now, realistically. We don't need to worry about tiebreakers till the end, but yeah, those are the two top teams right now, and Kendron did get that win, so you'd say, like, okay, Kendron's the #1 team, but then Linwood happened against Kendron, right? So it's like, I don't know. Either way, Division 2 right now, well, if you want to put the Toners on top, you might as well put them on top in Division 2 as well.
Yeah, no, that's just a little bit of a lag right there from the switch. But anyway, PCS on top 4-0. And then, of course, we have the Watermelon Squad, one of my favorite teams there in that second place spot in 3-1. Aces Rocket League 3 in the 3-1 as well for that third place spot. But hopping over to Division 3, of course, we have on top of D3.
Drum roll. I think it's still being updated. So now, yeah, BDC Barracuda still looking for the first. There you go, it's Ripley Raptors.
What? I thought Trinity Esports was going to be still on top. That just threw me for a loop there. But yeah, Trinity Esports 4-1 with an 8-game differential. Riley Raptors Orange in the 4-1 in that first place spot. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful performance right there from D3. Congrats to the Raptors on taking that first place spot this week.
Yeah, and hopefully, you know, fortune turns around for teams like MBHS Nitro, our one NSA representatives. Hopefully we'll see them get back in it. Still looking for their first game win, and I believe it's going to come sooner than later. That said, we still have, you know, more Rocket League to come. We're only about like halfway through this season. Not even. Actually, we still got plenty of time left. So these are going to be our matches. I hope you like Ripty, and I hope you like Linwood, because we're going to be covering both of their games next week as each of them go up against pretty much the gauntlet of everybody else.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited to see that Kendron versus that Linwood game, that game number 3 right there. I'm super, super excited to cover that one. Yeah, I just want to kind of see who's going to be that more dominant team in that matchup right there.
I also like game 4, that Linwood as well versus the Toners. I think will also be a fun one. Like, a lot of good games up and down the table, so definitely going to want to tune in for sure as you get at it. Of course, it will be Gex, I believe, joining you again next week instead of myself. Whoops, as we continue to do our caster shuffle on the other end.
Yeah, I'll just be here holding down the fort while you guys do your shuffle, okay? I'll just be taking whatever one of you guys just doesn't want to be here, okay?
Yeah. Well, no, I'd love to be here, all right? If it were up to me, I'd be here every week. But it's not always entirely up to me. But when it is up to you out there to follow along and do keep up to date with all of sort of everything that's happening both in AEL and in RLO, both in these high school leagues and in the uni leagues, I'm going to plug it. I'm going to have to plug that uni league grand final. It's happening next Wednesday. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you guys being here so very, very much. Thank you very much to you guys in the chat. And thank you very much to the sponsors as well. Thank you to the producer, our lovely producer, Dover, for pushing the buttons. Bass, our in-game referee, observer as well. And Max, thank you very much to you for being here as well, man. I appreciate you so very, very much.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun as always, and I'm excited to see where we go from here.
Yes, sir. So we hope you guys join us next week. Same time, same place, different matches. But I promise you guys, it's going to be some great Rocket League action. Thank you very much for being here with us. You guys have a good night.